Good evening, everyone. We're back for another edition of Supreme Command Forge Alliance. Got a few casts lined up today. I've been looking, and I've got what I feel like is a good variety. Got some 1v1 action, got some team action, got some silliness. You know, just the general Forge Alliance type stuff. But, yeah. So tonight we're actually going to start out with the 1v1 first off, actually, because it is an epic 1v1. It is long, it is good, and it is against two very good players. And, well, I mean, just have to really see for yourself how it's going. So let us flip on over to the game. We shall fire this up. And go. So, as mentioned before, it is a 1v1 and this is going to go down on Loki. Quite a classic 1v1 map, plenty of plenty of plays you can do, plenty of movements, sorts of ideas. But anyway, starting out, as we say, down here on the left hand side, this is going to be team, supposedly team 2, but doesn't really matter. Pick all the boxes, and down the bottom we have Bjorn, and he has got himself UEF in blue, so it's a true actual ladder match, I think, because of how the players are coloured. And opposing him is Battle Moose, and he's red, and he's also UEF. So the ratings between the two players, we have 1218 to 1252. That'd be very close. So good matchup. First things out, first land for Moose. He is grabbing that, throwing down some PGs, because of course closest hydro is all the way over here. Off the other side, well, actually Bjorn has started first land with a pigeon first, so that usually means, here it is, first bomber. So Bjorn is going for the meme, and I may just have a touch on the music. There, I can go background. And there we go, first bomber is just about after Bjorn, and of course there is going to be a relative annoyance once it gets over here. But it might not get a lot of work done, because even though he has a land factory instead of air factory, you'll quite often see pros at this level very quickly react to, in fact, that's some anticipation from Moose right there. He's already got some T1 anti-air rolling over to protect his NGs, because that's exactly where that bomber's going for. Have a look at the move options, indeedy. So the plan was to come and kill some of these. Is Bjorn paying attention? Will he see the anti-air? Well, he does now. So is he going to redirect that bomber or carry on and try and kill some NGs? Well, he could get at least one engineer out of that, which he is going for. See, that's a clever little bomb. Tries to catch the engineer but misses, and keeps it well south away from the anti-air that he knows is in the area. So clips the engineer, doesn't kill it. It carries on with its reclaim. Starts to moving back. Bjorn realizes his bomber attempt is possibly not the best one. Altizen, how we doing, my friend? No, not really an early stream. This is my usual start time, around 8 o'clock for me, 8 o'clock PM, so, you know, it's a fairly time. Anyway, that bomber did pick up one of the engineers, has decided not to loiter where the anti-air is sitting around, and decided to wander off to the north. Maybe we're going to head over this way and try and pick up this engineer here. Do we have more anti-air coming out? Well, we do. That's another archer. So he's finishing up his main base, got his production on the way, and is going for a walk with his comm. Over here we have Bjorn is yet to finish the second factory. He put a lot of effort into that bomb up and running, and indeed just to get that second engineer over there. So 2 kills for that bomber. Bit of an annoyance tactic. Really, it does slow down the expansion out this way. Just going to keep that loitering around in case he can pick up another NG. Right, but let's have a look at Loki. Not a huge amount of reclaim to really run home about, 3,000 on the entire map, so while you're going to be using trees to help supplement your eco at the start, and there is another NG down, yes it is. So bomber gets itself 3 engineer kills, and I believe that actually means it has paid for itself, not only in the masses killed, but also in the time invested to get the engineers out. But comms wandering over that way. Not going to be an issue. And looks like Moose is deciding to track the striker over here, hoping to maybe pick up a lone engineer that comes to do these mixes, but it's the commander wandering that way, so he's not going to get anything done. Righty. So, early game harassment is over, and now both players are starting to think about a bit more long term. Moose has, well, he's got his first air factory there, and looks like he's got more land factories plans. Just the one for now. Just over here, it appears that Bjorn is sticking with what he's got, and he's actually doing a drop, so he wants to get some engineers out quickly. Where's that going? Probably over here, I would imagine. Yep, there we go. Hopping here, going to drop some engines there, and somewhere over there to get that eco just that much quicker. This factory looks like Moose is not going to go for transport. I think he's just going to go defensive air, getting some interceptors out for the sake of having interceptors, because they're always handy to have around when bombers turn up. Ready, checking out the ecos though. We are very even, 2.8k. Those ticked over at pretty much the same time. So very even in the eco game in the early stage, which is not too surprising. Both players knowing exactly what they're doing. However, I think Bjorn might be a little ahead. He's got a bit more power because of that hydro and extra very slightly. See that Moose is over here grabbing this one, so whilst Bjorn has yet to get up here because his commander moves slower than an engineer. But Bjorn has dropped here, so he's got a touch on that spot, putting up a factory to help hold the claim, while Moose has yet to get over this way. And in fact, Bjorn has snuck over with an engineer to the far corner as well, so he's wanting to grab these mixes, and he'll keep them for a while actually. No units in the area, only the commander all the way over here, and we don't have transport. Oh, we do have transport planned. So there we go, that's going to help out. This drops, and speaking of transports, there is Bjorn's making its way back home. Interceptor from Moose is in the area, but it has been picked up by this got tailed. Another bomber out from Bjorn just to be a bit interesting again. If it comes over this way, it might be able to pick up a few rounds from an anti-air gun. Might be able to kill an engineer, but I don't think it's going to get a lot more done than a wee bit of harassment. There's 2 anti-air in the region. You can probably move that one down, and although if it kills this engineer, it will interrupt the factory, which, again, we aren't just talking about the mass that it kills, but also the time delay. So now that factory doesn't get completed, and he's going to need to get another engineer down to finish it off. That's how it rolls. But down here, speaking of harassment and killing stuff, we have a pair of tanks, and they've just taken out the engineer and stopped that factory from being built. So harassment both ways. But Bjorn currently holds both corners of the map as far as the eco goes, so he's going to get a bit of hit on that. And this bomber does actually take out a mass extractor as well. So not only does it kill the engineer, slow down the factory build, kills a mass extractor, which, again, we talked about this time, slow down, not just the mass killed by those. This is done. Do we have the drop up here from Moose? Now, he should know this is all here, and yeah, there we go, got some units down here. And those tanks are going to want to push before this NG finishes that point defense. If that finishes up, they're going to have a very, very bad day. Here goes the move order, and hopefully they can spot that and get on the right firing angle. Go. Engineer's not going to finish. Corrupted. This leaves mass extractors that, well, Moose could capture them or reclaim them. Doesn't matter, it's all UEF tech. No, looks like the tank's going to have their say about this and say, well, no, you can't claim this one, we're killing it. Back up here we have another bomber out. Now it's doing a little bit more harassment, and that's another mass extractor under threat. Where is Moose? Well, there they are. They're going to come back and catch that bomber, but his transport is going to get caught on the flip side by a different interceptor. So transports at level 1 are a bit of an investment. They require quite a bit of energy to build, so losing that one there fortunately it had no units on it, but it was still a loss. And there we go, a capture. Said, and this one's going to die, so these engineers will just rebuild their way around. Alright, now speaking of air, let's check things out. Well, he still hasn't built that. Oh, just as I say, he finishes building hydro. and things go quiet and well, I would say Eco is in the favour of Bjorn because he held this top corner for so long, and he's actually got another harassing bomber coming out, so he's doing well with the harassment. There is no anti-air in this mix, so it's going to get a lot done. Alrighty, checking up here though, we see, and that's a drop as well, so Bjorn wants to make a play for this corner. As mentioned, he's got the bomber out, which is going to pick up all 3 engineers in one pass, and that's going to be a problem. Circle back around for these tanks, well, they're also going to have a job against 5, so 3 against 5 ain't going to work. They're going to walk away. However, Moose is over here with his commander and 3 factories all ready to provide reinforcements. If we look at the flip corner though, we can see down here Bjorn is firmly entrenched. He's got some anti-air, he's got a couple of, 1 factory and another one just spread up. He's got a ground-based point defense there, and he's got 3 factories of his own helping defend with some air defense, so he is going a bit more defended. If you dare, just holding on to be an annoyance. And there we go, top corner has flipped back. Right, but Moose is walking his commander over. He's got some anti-air with him, so that should be fine. The bomb's going to go down to those, and the commander can easily take out that squad there. And it's going to be an easy, assuming he doesn't send the anti-air in first before get killed by tanks, which is exactly what's happening. Oh dear, that's no, unfortunate. Right, checking out back down the bottom corner though, we have, looks like Bjorn is trying to get a few new units to run on past. If they can slip by, they can cause some damage, although having said that, that's all anti-air, so that's not going to stop those. But we have more units here. Kind of looks like they're planning for a drop. We do have a transport. If you get those units on the transport and put them somewhere sensitive, that will be a bonus. But these tanks have rocked up onto the 3 mixers here, and they will clean those out quite easily. Chasing force coming, but that's not big enough to stop them. With tanks in that, you're going to need a few more than that to sort things out. This group here have got themselves surrounded. Going to get picked off by RD, tanks. AA is not going to do much, but the RD definitely is because they're sitting still. But they hop on the move. They'll could win that, staying mobile. Picking up here, that bomber is trying to kill that 5 engineers and a T1 radar. That is a brutal kill. The single bomb. So I hear more bombers. Actually, it's another bomber in the same place. Just 7? Another 7 engineers? Or 7 units? My oh my. Bjorn has been very effective with his early T1 bombers. That group up there, 2 bombers and like 10 kills. Plus the radar was very, very painful. But Moose is definitely going to hold on to here with his commander. Getting a factory down, he will be fine. Alright. 11 minutes into the game, it's about time we start looking for tech, so let's have a gander. And well, we do right here, we have T2 for Bjorn. He's already popping out some pillars which are very good against T1. See any T2 engineers popping down red? Oh, there we go. A couple of T2 engineers over there, so they might decide to pop down some power at some point. And if we check over on the other side, Moose does not pick. Oh, I'm not seeing a T2, nor am I seeing a T2. Static. Okay, so Moose is sticking with the T1 for now. Looks like he probably wants to play in the spam. And oh, do not let your, do not. Oh, you have to drop those before the air comes in and kills them. Get them on the ground, please. In comes the interceptors. Gonna lose 1. He's gonna lose 2. That's a very. That is a lot of mass lost. That was 2 fully laden T1. And we have another bomb harassment back down here, so... Oh, here's Moose's comm. He's decided I'm going to come over this way. I'm going to make a nuisance of myself. I'm going to shoot some hit points while doing it, but maybe I can capture that or something, but he's shedding a lot of hit points doing it. He's going to have to be careful, because T1 PD does do nasty things to a commander. As Bjorn says, that's brave. Evening Rowie, and yes indeed that is brave. Warning his commander in the face of T1 PD just staunchly, not even a gun upgrade, just wanders on and down into the red. I think he'll get out of range though. Yeah, there we go. So he'll be safe for now-ish. A couple of bombers coming in. They are going to damage over here. Not sure about the idea of bombing air grid. Scepters are coming out, but it seems to be working for now. Probably kill both of those, or at least one of those on the way. We do have a T2 factory down here, and that's a Riptide coming out, so Bjorn really wants to try and claim back this north sector. Do have a small push in here of T1 units. They're going up against pillars. That's not going to help their cause. If we check out the other side though, that's a rather sizable force. Again, it's all T1 though, and quite a few pillars in this little mix here. Checking out on the right, it's a lot of T1 AA, so really been annoyed by the bombers. I think better. Check out his base. Have we seen a T2 shift anywhere yet? No. Oh, there we go. Factory has started to go towards T2. Alright, checking out the rest of the map. Gun upgrade for Moose that will help hold the spot. We do. Oh, it's coming in. There's a couple of bombers overhead which will cause some set skirts. The commander will, so he's not even going to get a chance to shoot at it. And it pops into range and starts killing engineers and Vector. Health is going down pretty fast on that. It's not going to die before it finishes. He's got some bombs around, but the air's coming from both players to have a go over there. And look at the counter down here. More Riptides, and they are taking out the eco. Nothing on the ground to stop those. As mentioned, it's like it was a whole bunch of T1 air, anti-air set up, which can't shoot the ground. Spamming up a point defense up here. Should be able to hopefully hold them off a bit better, but nonetheless. And we have more Riptides up here doing the job. But some T1 bombs in the air will take those out alright. Checking out here though, that is a T2 push up into the top section. Defended by T1 units, not going to go down well. These pillars are just having their way. So we expect that to get lost as well, and that might actually leave Moose over here. So setting on an upgrade, shooting at others are pillars, so they've actually come all the way from over this way. Come in. The pillar in range of the commander, I mean, not a great idea, just the one. But he's sitting still on an upgrade for quite a long time on low health. Needs to be a wee bit careful. Look over here, this section's been cleaned out. This section's getting cleaned out. Some damage done. Gun upgrade is still faltering along. If we check Moose's tech, well there we go, there's the T2 and he has started on power. He probably desperate. Once we go down here, and we can see that right head. Factory here. Power sitting down there. Yeah, so he's got less factories, less build power. I take that back, he's got more factories up here. And those are T2 as well. They're actually doing quite well for himself. Those tanks have decided to leave, they've killed the eco, they're not going to bother with the factories. They're on their way, but they are being hassled by T1 bombers. Now, speaking of T1 bombers, here's another set. And what are they going to go for? Well, they're going to go for anything. One pass to kill. And hello, a Riptide. Finally makes its way up from down here and starts killing these poor Hepus engineers. This has been spotted by a couple of pillars in defense, so it should be okay. And T2 mix goes down, and the next target is more engineers and T2 power. Some very, very good bomber work from Bjorn. Tier 1 bombers, when used right, can do good things. But this is quite a sizable army. I don't care if you've got a bunch of T2. That's a lot of T1. And that will take its toll. So they're pushing probably down here, I would imagine. There's nothing really to defend it. We do have more Riptides on the way. There is some T1 PD here though. We wonder what their range is. They could maybe sneak past on the left. But if they keep going the current trajectory, they'll run right into both of them, and that'll be a bad time. Speaking of bad times, more ground units moving up here, and again another point defense. Gonna open up and gonna kill off the archer. The strike is not in range, and in fact that dies to this T1 arty, so unfortunately got very little done. Now up here though, looks like Moose has also opted for nano repair, so he's got the gun upgrade, and he's just gonna slowly get through that. Out to any assistance. Alrighty, checking out, and we mentioned about those guns being in range, and these are ineffective walls. Riptides have a flat trajectory with their guns, but without the corner wall, they have just shot straight through there and gotten very, very little. The point defense got very little done. So I'm thinking this little plus formation is no good. Walls don't cost much. But we have a look how much a wall costs. Yes, if that. 2 mass and 10 power to build a wall. Would have kept that point defense alive a lot longer. But we've got some defending pillars now, so they can rock in and take out those 3 Riptides, but there are more engineers coming, and looking like they're trying to be cheeky and pop a factory down there, so they can work on that front. Right, checking out up here though, and I mentioned the large number of units. Looks like we have some mongoose now as well as a old parashield to help keep them alive. Of course, if you can keep your mongoose at range, they do very well against T1 because they outrange them. They have the area of effect spam with the little mortar shells on their left and a Gatling on their right. Really chew through things. But up the top here, looks like Moose has decided he really wants to take out this area. So now he's moving his Guncom, which will outrange these point defense. Yeah, is he where it's there? Just make sure he's scouted it. Well, he hasn't. So he's actually walking in blind. We're going to start shooting at things he sees there. What was that? Well, actually, that's I completely missed the triads. So, shooting away at a wall section. See how much extra time that takes to try and kill. But now, is he out of radar range, or is he considered underwater? I think he's... Oh, there we go. Now he's been seen. Well, he's going to have to be careful. That's a lot of damage coming off there. He's being brave again. Time to walk away. I don't think he's going to be silly enough to die to that. Alright, but checking up here though, we mentioned... Oh, it's a lot of engineers not doing much, and a couple of mongoose just floating in the area. There's those grenades about shooting. But checking out down here, that factory is almost finished, which is another engineer here just stealing all the mass. Oh dear. No units in the area to help out. That factory is going to finish and it's going to start producing units, which is going to be a bother. Absolute bother. Looks like Moose is committed to trying to kill over here though, and well, he's done okay. He's gotten through the T1 PD. There's 2 T2 PD down, and can he not see that? He has no radar. So with no radar, this commander is actually free to just slowly kill things down. And a bunch of T1 bombs coming out, and they have destroyed that triad in one pass. So talk about knowing exactly how much you need, and he has done precisely that. But up here has been reduced to rubble. T2 units have come in. There is some flak in the mix as well to take care of pesky T1 bombers should they turn up. That's going to all go. That's a bad sign. And speaking of bad things, T2 units in your base is never nice. And as you take out the... Is that his only E-storage? Yes it is, so he no longer has access to overcharge because that died. We have responding units here from Moose. They're going to come in and hopefully take things out. There is a T1 PD here. Now some damage, but he's going to lose... Oh no, he does not want to lose that. I think it should be fine. He's got enough T2 units in the area, so that should survive, and he's going to want to rebuild, but down here, that's a lot of air. And there is flak around as mentioned. But looks like Moose is not happy with just cleaning up here. He's actually walking his commander even further down, so he's going to wander straight into Bjorn's base. And he's going to have some fun. Though he's going to want to rebuild some, there it is, storage so he can have the overcharge, and he's trying to build up another T2 power reactor so he can overcharge more often. As a commander. Commander versus Flak, place your bets. Commander with overcharge. Shortly. He'll have overcharge soon. Is there? Wait a second, stop him. Well, we've seen some triads going up. Single speed. And of course the commander's there to help as well, so Moose might be able to get some things done, but at the most this is probably just going to be an annoyance, but he has to be careful. Because commanders have no anti-air of course, and his interceptor's all the way over here. So, looks like he's decided to bring the rest of his units over from the right. Maybe trying to into here. But now we see Mongoose coming out and taking triad fire. Down into the yellow. Not too much of a concern yet. Looks like he's just trying to kill as much eco as he can. Now facing two triads though. Third one going up pretty fast, and a fourth one started over there. So he won't be able to hang around forever. And is that, I'll move all my units in command. That lot's going in there. That lot's going over there, and this lot's going over there too. Alright. So not a lot done with the commander there. Killed a little bit of eco, killed a couple of units, but ultimately no dead factories, no dead mass extractors either, just a few T1 PGens. Still kept his focus off a little bit. And is that a bunch of anti-air coming over this way? Yes it is, so Moose knew it was coming and he's brought some units over to help. He's not going to survive long against T2, so that's, he really wants to keep them up against the siege to help support the commander with the air coming in. And units up here as well, so simultaneously Moose has reclaimed that, but by moving all his units off he has left this army well enough alone, and they are free to roam, and if they roamed into the base that would cause a lot of problems. And checking up over this side we have sort of rebuilt there. We did kill that factory so he is safe. Point defense hasn't been rebuilt. Bjorn says this was epic. And it has been a great 1v1, and there's the push from this army. They're taking out all the eco over here. Seaman flies over, there is anti-air in the mix, no flak though, so they'll be taken down one by one very slowly. But taking down them all, and that's not a great place to land either. As soon as they do, there's going to be a lot of dead indies. Oh dear, don't land your interceptors there. Now here though, a bit more of a battle, more T2 units come rolling, and this is actually a really good pushback from Moose, but these units are probably not going to get a lot done versus 1, 2, 3, 4 triads, and it's going to be T1 point defense up as well very shortly, and that's going to be all under shields. So going to be no problems fending this off unless they manage to run past and kill some of this. They could maybe focus down a mix or two, but overall I think this is really just going to be a mass donation. That shield is holding pretty well. That's a lot of point defense as said. Throws a pause on that T2 mass extractor. Units control shift G'd in. They're going to focus anything down once they get in there. Well, if they can kill the shield gen, that might help their cause, which they do. Now maybe they can kill something else, but in likelihood, probably not. Going to focus down on T2 gen, killing that would be handy. Will help dull Bjorn's power a wee bit, but I have the feeling he has more than enough to cover that one loss, which he does. He could lose another one and still be fine. Alright, checking out up here though, Moose is hung around and he's walking his commander back in, question mark. I hear more point defense, so Pillar versus PD. Doesn't work when the PD's behind walls, but this army is still roaming the area. Although if it comes up this way it's not going to get a lot done, there's a lot more point defense up there. That's all T1. some Riptides. Why do I hear Riptides? Are they actually mix? Or are they somewhere else? Oh, they're over there. There. Okay. So, bit of a T2 fight there, and, well, while I think Bjorn could win that, reinforcements coming out all the time from Moose's factory. So, let's have a look at the map again, and, well, it's kind of evened out, I think. Fairly at control. Fairly even on units. Let's have a look at those. Moose is rocking 41 pillars across the map. 22 for Bjorn, so he's actually ahead on the ground. Though I think Bjorn has some Riptides as well. So they are. Only a handful, so they don't really count. But yeah, Moose has brought his commander back in here again to look at killing off some more build power. There go a couple of factories. He can maybe kill another one, and he's doing a counter push from the bottom, so these turrets point vinks now have to choose what they're going to shoot at, and that's actually a scary amount of T2 if Bjorn isn't careful. They focused him down. I almost thought they could have got him, but there's probably too much PD in the area to do as well. One power goes down, and of course Battle Moose is in the area too, and looks like the units have run out, so now he has to be careful because all this PD is going to turn its attention back to him. He's managed to take out a pair of maybe just one power. Another one of the T2 pigeons. I think that one was still dead. And it does have to walk away. He cannot stand and face that. Alright, checking out here though, we have more Riptides come over, and once again down the bottom. Is there any other power build around? No. We're going to move up here, and there is that point defense still there. It's our 4 kills, and it is a rank vet, but again, look at that fire just going straight between the walls. No defense whatsoever for that. Yeah. Tries to get work done, but honestly, one more wall section I think would have been ideal. Bombers come out, and well, that's going to be into those Riptides. That's a few bombers. There's no anti-air with them because there's no hover. And well, T1 Lane Factor up here, popping out some engineers. Wants to try and rebuild up here after that raid, and more pillars just walking into the sacrificial spot. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going to be 7 pillars. It's a very badly placed move order. Very badly placed move order. Everything's just going to move up there and die. 3 kills is definitely got now. 6. 6 kills and it's regenerating. Probably want to get some. Yeah, that's pretty much a T2. 900 reclaim in this spot alone. That's a T2 mix. Right there. Yeah. Grab your stuff. And along comes another pillar. However, this point defense is slowly dying. And once it's gone, it will be gone for good. Well, we have got some T1RD in the area, which is going to do the same thing. But it's also going to kill the flame, because that's what artillery does. Let's check back up here though, and we're saying hi to Riptides as they wire right on past. And another group here, and we see more point defense thrown up, but again, not going to get much done because of the 4 walls. Also, the angle doesn't help as well. The walls don't really protect. So they're still forward with this commander, and they're just casually building a T1 factory. So maybe he wants to think about doing some spam from here. And out and up here. Past, they're going to be seen, but if nothing stops to engage them, they will carry on and take out up there again. Hotshot and Scepter goes back to building the factory. Right, there's annoying little Riptides. Same those point defense. Hey Depony, no, it is not live, this is a replay. I tend to do replays over live. Live can have all sorts of issues, but how are you doing tonight? It's night for me, deal with it. Alright, a few pillars up here, they're going to get some work done, they're going to finish off the mix and maybe the factory, but there's engineers in the area, so that won't be too difficult to rebuild, and it seems like they're going to have a go by T1RD. I have 3 replays already lined up. If you have another one, I could have a look at it afterwards. But feel free to on here now, and I shall check it out. And this one goes quiet. Static thing here, just got a army sitting still, string against this lot. Superior numbers. Same. Well, it might. I knew what you were trying to say. And engineers are over from Bjorn. He wants that mass extractor. And well, this rate's going to keep it because that's pure of check up there though. See, engage and standing in your unit slowly against a force like that is not good for your units. You want to come in a group. But hello, we have T3. That's a Percival from Moose. Have we had a tech shift? Yeah, well, it's just about done. So Moose has actually beaten Bjorn to the T3 stage only by margins. So I don't think it's going to have much effect on the game. He has popped out that factory there though, completed the engineers. They are now grabbing up some of that reclaim. And his commander's wandering back to help defend against this, which will work quite effectively. Alright, wouldn't do so bad to send one of those Percys down this way, to be honest. But he's got it over here because he's worried about this larger group, which is fair enough. Alright, checking out the eco game though, and Bjorn is still ahead, not by a huge margin. 4k, it's not a huge margin, but it's a margin nonetheless. Here though, sacrificing a whole of Inceps to kill one bomber, because there's so much anti-air in this mix, they're just going to get drenched. And if they land, they're going to die even more. If they don't land, that's alright. Just doesn't even worry about bringing those Inceptors over because there's no real need. They can just die. Problem. Right, checking up here though, so those 2 units are up and Percival comes in range. I'm going to see the first shot. No, oh, there we go, shoots the hill. Nasty, nasty little hill. T3 mixed with our storages is very likely. Don't know where you're looking though. But if you're looking at it, I've seen a lot of things. Guys often use adjacency with mass extractors instead of storage around because it helps reduce the cost of the coming out of the factories. Alright, and we do have T3. This first Percival is coming over to the left because, well, it can clean up all of this, and then being amphibious, it can carry on up here. But, however, we do have Battle Messrs. Com in the region. He's got overcharge, so that Percy won't get a lot done should it run into him. But, checking out the left though, and while the Riptides have held their ground, they've just been gradually killing off these poor engineers. Yep, there we go. So engineers on a patrol order, just getting themselves killed. Walking into Riptides. Not so great. And looks like Moose is consolidating his army. He's just putting those all together into the one spot. I think he wants to crush this because, let's be honest, that's a fairly sizable force. We have a T3 engineer out, but he's idle doing not a lot. Build powers are going up in the form of kennels, so Moose wants to start building stuff and he wants to start building it fast. He has a plan. Part of that plan is to use these guys to kill these guys. He's claim the territory back and grab his mass extractors. On the left, so this group has stopped still, and we mentioned the Percival that could wander around and kill everything. Well, it's done exactly that. One more shot. Pop. Where's the mass extractor? Up here, these are all T1 mixes compared to over here where Bjorn has T2. So he's over here. No, these are all T1 as well. But he has got still T1 here again. So these guys are a little reluctant to upgrade their mixes on the extremities because they die and flip-flop so much. Although this has been done by Bjorn to give him that little bit of an edge. But checking out the totals though, Moose has caught up somewhat. He was around 4k behind, now he's only 2k, so whether that's reclaim related or eco related, do not know. But he up. And once again, another engineer to the slaughter. 14 kills for that tank, 8 for that tank, so between these two they've killed 22 engineers. This, however, is a sizable force, and with a couple of pieces in there that would help bolster them against any T2 forces that try to counter. And I don't see any Percivals in that mix. I think they're over somewhere. Here we go, units popping over for the corner. Flying bombs into flak is a bad idea. So we do have Moose's comm there as well, so he'll be fine. Grabbing a T2 upgrade onto this factory so he can pop out T2 Wingies and get some tech available, defensive or otherwise. It's not a bad shot. And we do have a Percival coming down the right that will finally deal with these dag-nabbity Riptides. Because move order is... Well, actually, he got given the move order as part of this army here, which just so happens to be down this way. That's hilarious. Alright, bombs over here getting just trounced by interceptors, absolutely slaughter-fested. Engineers here going, whoopsie, getting picked up by this group of T2, which there is no real defense. Got some T1 point defense, but that's outranged by Mongoose, and you can just bring the army up this way and clear out the factories, no drama. Right, Moose has his comm well forward, just chilling, but just overcharging things on the cache. Just, there's something, I'll pop that, see you later. And there's some more T2 engines up here, so might be planning a bit of a hold in this corner, not sure what, but this position is gone. The factory is dead. Point defense heroically trying to do something, but it's not going to get a lot done. Because once again we speak about those angles, and actually it doesn't matter because the Mongoose have an arcing fire anyway which goes over the walls, so hey, we shall see you. And there we go. Mention that Percy coming down to kill those, which it has done. Job done. So Bjorn is trying to consolidate his army himself, get it all into a nice group over here, which there is, it's all T2. So while there is some Percivals in there, all this being T2 is still something to be concerned about. Some damage to Percivals, supported by other T1 units like that. Speaking of Percivals, these ones look like they're coming through. They might surface up, but if they run into this, it's going to be a pain. And in fact, we do have Percivals in this mix as well. I totally missed those. So this is the superior force, and I see the mobile missiles. They're out. Don't sit still when there's flapjacks around, folks. And once again, let him get the kill. Be nice. No, not going to be nice. One solo engineer going to be a hero. Maybe not. No heroism for that guy. Yep, point of views lasted a lot longer than I thought it would. Alright, so down here these Percivals have come out of the water and they're just looking to tidy up over here, get some damage done. Got the forces coming back to meet them though. No Percivals yet in the mix, they are back here, so good opportunity for them to just kill a few units, get back out and not be lost. 2 shots to kill a pillar just because they have been bred that way. Bjorn drops some Percys at the top left. Well, yes and no. He would have to drop a number and hope they aren't clumped together when he does an overcharge. So he has got a gun comm, so he's got range, and an overcharge of course will kill units instantly. So in theory it could work, but we'd have to get him down pretty quickly because there is a bunch of point defense as well as some tries to help him out. And it's a fairly strong commander. Right, looks like he's decided to settle in and entrench himself. There's more tries going up and a shield generator. So Moose has decided to stay here. He's not going to try and risk pushing back over this way with this commander, either by land or air, which is probably a wise move. Oh my god, this is strat. So while we've been talking, Bjorn has transitioned to T3 air. There's the first bomb out. There goes a mass extractor and a whole bunch of NGs. There is a flak in there somewhere, I heard it. Gonna take a while for it to kill off a strap bomber though, and now focusing work on that generator because yes, you really want to. There's a second bomb out and straight on the shield gen. Oh, there's the flak. So 13 kills for that. Ambassador, 2,500. Mass destroyed, which is a decent amount. Now going for the third mass extractor, and now it's going to rank Veneracy. That is a very annoying strat bomber, very well timed. And are we going to see a shift in air tech for Moose? Well, yes, there it is. Strat bomber goes out again and kills yet another mass extractor, so 5,500 mass destroyed, and it's going to do a bad turn into a swarm of Vinties. Might be out of fuel, but they still can shoot, especially if you get too close. Right, checking out down the bottom though, so Moose has cleared out down here. Those Percies have got the work done, but they've run into, like I said, the Percies in this army, and that's bad. I hear Titans. Alright, so Bjorn has seen all the T1 arty in the mix and has countered that with some Titans, which are very good at cleaning up T1 units because of their low damage, high rate of fire. And of course he's got the Percies back here to help counter Moose's Percies. So that's going to be a solid loss for Moose on that front. Probably don't want to keep dribbling in units like this. Bring them back, form a squad. And speaking of armies, this is 100% controlled by Bjorn. He's killed everything, he's grabbing the reclaim. While Moose has to try and rebuild up here. So he's lost those mixes. Bjorn did lose the mixes down here as well though. And as a matter of fact, we have a look at the total mass. Moose has pulled ahead just slightly. So he has done a good job there. Looks like a single tech defense in case of that, or a couple of tech defenses in case of a snipe, so he is a little concerned. We have been focusing on Moose so much. What is Bjorn doing? Well, we have T3 land, we have T3 air, more stress coming out, so he's using that advantage while he can. Moose is 60% towards T3 air, that is going up very quickly because of all those drones. Let's catch up, get some ASFs out to help protect. Strats may go. We mentioned the army getting destroyed, and well, destroyed it did get. Have got some Percies over here. Of course, if they hold a line, the only thing they'll fight against is other Percies because, well, none of this is hover. All has to stay on the land. Alright. Here's some scouts getting popped, no dramas, but here's a problem. What is there to counter this force? Well, tier 1 bombers ain't going to cut it because there is flak in the mix. It's going to shred those guys. Are a few PD and a couple of Percies floating around, so might take some time to break through, but maybe not enough to do it. And here's another strat. So he wants to keep putting pressure onto this top section, and we have that single flak doing its work again. It's that mass extractor sitting just outside the shields. Does not last long. Your mass extractor is trying to turn into T2, and probably doing the same for these ones, so it's going to be mass lost. Bomb impacts on the shield, so nothing doing. And some T1 anti-air, not a bad choice when you can't get T3 up and quick. A bunch of these can still do a fair amount of damage at rapid speed to single targets, but they're actually not too bad at killing strat bombers. However, you really want your ASFs to help do the job, and do the job they do. Okay. Right, so over here we have a scout over Moose base, so Bjorn will be well aware he's got T3 air if he wasn't already from a strat being shot down, and here's his ASF response, and those two guys are just going to get completely overwhelmed. Down. Go, all those T1 anti-air doing some work. Don't land your aircraft in range of point defense. I think he's forgotten about them. Get them up to do a job, and now they're just going to die horribly. Unnecessary damage. Alright, but checking out down here though, a large group of Percies just keeping defensive. Another army up here which is slaughtering some innocent civilians. These poor guys, what do they do? Absolutely nothing. They're just sitting there, a nice formation. They're not hurting anyone. But they exist, therefore they must die. But that's a lot of Percies on the ground for Moose. Let's just count the numbers again. What do we got? 31 Percivals for Moose. Bjorn has not been that idle. He has 27 of his own, so fairly even on that front. but he also has all the supporting ground units. He's got shields to give him extra HP, he's got some T2 units to push out extra DPS, and he's got the Flapjacks cores just to be extra pain with that. Whereas Moose is nothing but Percy's. Right, let's check out over here though. That's not a Percy. That's T3 Artie. Alright, so looks like he's planning a bit of base breaking. And what's... well, nothing. So at the moment it is just straight out unit versus unit stuff going on. But this is going to be... yeah, it's going to hurt. These factories are going to go down. Going to lose a bunch of build power. Going to lose these. Well, they're still only T1 mass extractors because they expected to lose them. There's a strat overhead though, so that's going to start chunking away at their health. 1, 2 strats and a bunch of ASFs. So Percy's won't be long for the world, but they will kill off this build power. Scrambling ASF to look out for that because he simply does not have air. Bunch of units over here being annoying. Got the Flapjacks firing over, killing stuff off. Mentioned this force pushing in this way. Well, the Percys ain't here anymore. Well, here they are. They're coming up. I'm fairly confident they'll be able to kill that force. And at that point, it is probably going to be a fairly sized mass donation. Although they have killed a T3 mass extractor here. So that's actually quite a bit of damage. And not sure if the trade was worth it. Actually, in both cases. Not sure if that trade... that... probably was. At least you can scoop that mass real quick and rebuild that quickly. That trade possibly was worth it. Right, Percy's going to have a go at some ASFs on the ground, which would have stayed there if not for the bombers flying over, and they could have gotten some work done. Alright, still very much a space, just sticking with the unit spam. What do we have over here? Well, I mentioned the T3 Artie, and it's being defensive. So this armor, which keeps rocking back and forth, is actually starting to take some T3 Artie fire, and that's going to help. Whittle down some hit points, kill off the flak, maybe kill some Flapjacks, but either way it's going to be doing damage, and they're going to be... they hang around there, which they are, so that's not a great idea. Another strat coming over though, looks like it is targeting this group of Percys, and that's going to hurt. And bomb away. Ka-chunk. Look at that. That's not good for your Percy's health. Not good at all. Picking out the top here though, Moose is quite firmly entrenched. Take a bit to oust him from there. Yes, a T3 army should do it, as in choose. Right, checking out, so that is power, that is a drop. It's just engineers, wants to go grab some reclaim somewhere or start booting elsewhere. Does he have planned? Something planned. And oh, hello. Sorry, armor, I have just seen mass extractor that does not have storage around it, so I don't know if Bjorn had that queued up. You see there is a mass storage started. Most likely got killed by, Engie's got killed by one of the raids and he forgot to re-queue it. Aim. Alright, strap bombers are out, trying to get some work done. That one's got 6 kills and a lot of it, 9.5k worth of damage. Goes down to T1, and is that Cougar Fire I saw? Yes it is. I like these things. Twin Gatlings are just fun. Not amphibious though, so it's not going to get into the water. Right, checking out up here, and we have had T1 Artie pushing up to make a nuisance of itself. Not going to get a lot done. There's some T2 PD back here. Now there's some shields and more triads going up. Once these are done, there's going to be a killing zone here for them trying to get over. And we've got units coming in. Alright. Let's check out the other side though. We have had a large 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 Percys pushing up on the right. We have 3 in defense, and well, we do have some point defense here, which should shoot them as soon as they come over the edge. Is that flat? No, it's ridged, but they should be able to just... However, these guys stop. They just want to stop and hold there and claim. Probably not great when there's T3 Artie nearby, so we'll avoid those 2 shells. Wow, so that has been degrading for a very long time. And checking up here, we mentioned about the now killing zone, which is exact. And there's even a strap bomber joining in the fun. I don't know why. It's going to run into a SAM and it's going to die. There it goes. Nope, there it goes. Missiles loop around and it will fall on right in front of some Engis who could pick up that mass quite happily. Come on, boys. You've earned it. I'd say his attention is probably elsewhere. That's a T2RD. Well, T2RD will spoil the fun of up here. I'm going to break that quite happily. And we mentioned those Percy's coming up. Well, come up they have, but they are outmatched by more Percy's and of course with this T1 PD plus some triads. So that's some free mass. That is 8,000 mass sitting right here, ready for donation. 9,000 mass. Times, get those Engis, get that mass, do something with it. Up here, just the continual death. Oh, he's finally figured it out. Decided, never mind then, I'll stop doing that, because this is now my plane, T2RD. Alright, so any more planes over here? Well, I'm just double checking, I don't see anything, it's still just unit creep. Well, they're not building because they pause. Yeah, so still building units, we don't need to worry about that. Now let's have a look down at Bjorn. What are you doing? Hello. That's Fat Boy. Okay, so this could be a problem for Moose up here because I think it could probably sit over this side. Sits over this side, it can cause some damage. However, T2RT is a solid counter to a Fat Boy because they outrange it. See, an X-Tree doesn't matter as much because it's a huge target. In the middle here we have a wall of Percy's coming angle onto this force, which is great for Moose because it means they take things down one at a time instead of running into a wall versus wall. And this is a huge force. 26 Percy's against 6. At this stage that just doesn't matter. That's just a rout. And it leaves behind another 18,000, 20,000 reclaim just here. If you ever want to realize how important reclaim is, folks, this is it. 20,000 reclaim, 25,000 for more things dying all the time. Get your engineers out. Exactly what Moose has done. He's just grabbed a whole horde and gone go reclaim, go patrol. Checking up the top though, still pushing up on this. Did a shield die? E1 bombers coming in for the extra bomber spam, trying to take down the shields enough to kill one, which they do manage, which leaves this T2RD bank up here with an easy win. If those shells land correctly, they can kill absolutely everything. There goes their shield, and that's now free real estate. However, Fat Boy is just about done. I think that's unfortunate. It's up here. This turned into a T2RT war between these two little fire bases, which means Moose has built, how many is that now? 7, 6 active, 7, 8, 9 on the way, and should, well, that was bad, should he finish more of those before the Fat Boy gets up there. After this has been taken care of, those RD will just simply turn to fire at whatever reaches down this way, which would be the Fat Boy, which is now supported by broadswords. So, does he have enough anti-air down here? Well, he does have one SAM, one flak, and a bunch of T1. But, up on time? Yes, it is. Time, and these artillery are going to go down. Shield blinks on with one damage, but oh, hello. Yeah, Percival's are going to finish shuffling that away. It can just go. Checking out here, so those engineers are trying to reclaim all the mass, but there's been a pillar and a Percy and a shield come down to try and prevent exactly that, even as he sent his own engineering to do the same job. So Moose needs to redirect a few of these down here just to clean up. Righty, checking out the eco styles though, haven't looked at that for a while, and we can see Bjorn is well ahead. So he's now 65, 70k ahead on mass total. He's got double the eco by the look of it. Let's just check if that's real numbers. Oh, 350 income, it's 171, so he has double the eco. Plus he's upgraded all of these to T3, has not been rated, he's upgraded these to T3. Moose doesn't even hold those ones, and these are 2, but that's a bad time. Now we mentioned about the whole T2 RD having nothing to shoot at except a Fat Boy. Not the Fat Boy's there, and there's a shield there trying to hold it. The artillery turns oh so slowly, and there's another shield going up real quick, although shields don't last long against Fat Boys. Let's see what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 artillery. Let's see what they can do against. Okay, worried about the strap bombers trying to come in again. There is a bit of an air entanglement, and we see the Fat Boy turns to fire at some of the Percivals. Gets itself half going under the water, which does not help because now all the artillery is pointed, just waiting for it to come back out. And the shells, are they going to start firing again? But actually the Fat Boy is distracted by Percivals as well, the Might, which are also bombarded by spearheads. So, and we see here 7 artillery doing a bang up job against a very, very poor Fat Boy. Way there because nothing to stop broadswords. But gets away alive, unshielded, but alive. Alright, let's check out what is next on the plan. That's another Fat Boy, and is that a Duke? So Bjorn's going to some couple of fatties for, I'm going to guess, defensive area denial, maybe use them to move around, and then flipping over the other side. Well, it has not been inactive, he's building his own Fat Boy. So he's looking solid counter. Unfortunately, a second one is going to be a problem. Still plenty of Percivals, plenty of build power going up, but because he's so far behind on that income, some problems, especially if that gets up. Right, how's he scouting? What do you know? Got Omni somewhere so you can see the entire map, but he hasn't scouted at all. So signature on that Fat Boy. Has got a bunch of T3 RD coming over, so that could help. Just to have more air in the mix. That's one Cougar against these other Fat Boy now for Bjorn right beside each other. Sword. So he's got 8 broadswords and a single strat. 8 broadswords are going to cause issues, and if Fat Boy opens up on this hill, is maybe. Artie has joined up with the main. Swords are on the move. They're going to cause. Simply is not enough now. I know he's a limited amount of field. Looks like he's lost it a couple of times just because. Right, he lost it over here when there was a bit of an air fracas. He thought there were strats coming in for his commander because they were the speed, they're basically the same speed as T1 interceptors. So if you have a group of interceptors flying straight for a spot, if they're a radar signature, they can be mistaken for strat bombers because they move at a very, very similar speed. But Angel Air over here, Fat Boy come in and might start shooting at them. Because there goes that strat, takes out a single. He's on the move again, and this Fat Boy is starting to get work done. You can start damaging this army somewhat, but has to be careful because there's 2 other Fat Boys coming into counter. Right. More by Moose. 10,000 mass on the screen. Strat may have aggro by accident, is entirely possible, but either way, it killed a T3 Artie and died for its efforts. So we have Cougar sitting out in front of the Fat Boy wanting to keep that alive, but Spearheads might actually be the better choice than T3 Artie because they can fire while moving. No, they can't. Sorry, I take that back. Yes, they can. It's just their Taurus don't turn. So, unlike the T3 Artie, Spearheads don't have to stand stationary to move. Sorry, be stationary to shoot. However, one Fat Boy versus two. That song and dance plays out, especially when you're power stalling. Oh no. Two Fat Boys versus one, we're going to see this one die very, very quickly. A lot of the time when it's one versus one with Fat Boys, you'll see a mutual kill because, you know, just the amount of travel time, the shells. Yeah, but Fat Boy down, so now there's nothing to really stop these from just hanging back and lobbing shells over the middle and killing a whole bunch of forces. Yoshi, hi. That's right, I don't get a lot of things. Alright, so what has Battle Mist got planned? Got some power planned. Nothing else spectacular, but these Fat Boys are now in the middle. Oh, I can just roll straight through all of that. Of course, they're experimentals. They ignore walls. They just roll through the walls. They are destroying. Well, that's interesting. Indestructible walls. I forgot they were like that, but it's not that you can't hit them. It's that you hit them and they don't die and instantly regenerate. That's hilarious. But getting done over here, army is slowly squeezing through, which is going to cause a problem because you're going to see the Fat Boys follow on. They can ignore the walls, they can just roll on up and start killing things at range. We're going to see a bunch of T2 static artillery. Counter. Fat Boys. Don't see any. Don't see any engineers that can build it. Bunch of anti-air. Over there, if we started some T2 Artie, now would be the time before the Fat Boys get in range. You could plonk a set down here to cause some issues. I hear... no, T1. It's not strats. Single Percy wandering on up. Tickled away and possibly run into these, but should be okay. Up the top here though, we mentioned those broadswords before. Well, they're just cleaning up the top because hey, why not? Nothing to stop them. This is up here, still just chilling away with this comm and bank T2 Artie. Throwing out some sorts. Alright, engineers on the prowl, they are looking to claim a T3 max extractor totally. Some Percival's rocking on in, they won't have much time to do that. I think they'll finish it off though. It's all these ones in the way. That will shoot first. Is it going to die actually? Going to be a close thing. There it goes. So Broadtools came to try and help. Percy's came down, but they did not manage to get it, and now the reclaim order is given. Engineers having some fun. Checking out up here though, so we have the issue, and oh, there we go, called it. Line of T2 Artie. They're helping. Keep. Now, unfortunately, this does mean Moose has to push his army out a little bit, just to make the Fat Boys fall back while he gets that completed. But he should pull these units back again now because he has a good set of T2 Artie in the area, which can help thin out the numbers greatly. So right now, this is not the greatest plan. So he may catch these spearheads, which do need to die. Caught one couple of those there, caught another one, and looks like a fourth. Nope. So he put them in his pieces in a nice big group, which is a great way for them to die from Fat Boys. Not so good. Now, how's that Artie going? Well, I say that, and it's finished. Nothing doing from, oh look, a nuke. So Moose has started the nuke. Question is, had Bjorn scouted that? Oh no, he hasn't. Doesn't know it's there. So the question is, what is his artillery going to shoot at first? Standoffish tactics. I think Moose is well aware of that. Yes, he is. He has scouted it. And he calls out the GG. GG, this was crazy. He knows that's the end of the game for him. But this has been an epic 1v1. And according to Guile, a literal epic. This has gone for over an hour. These guys have been fighting each other. On Loki, a 10 by 10 map. Just goes to show how even this fight was for much of it. It's a T3 shells coming over. I don't know what he's going to do with that now. Not sure there's much you can do. A second T3 RD. Hey, because why not? You don't need to build units because you're in control of the ground with these two fat boys. Whole lot of mass just waiting to be scooped. Don't send your bursters in. Let the T2 RD take care of it. That's actually going up pretty quickly. I reckon if Moose can keep things alive from the RD, do we have? Oh, never mind. I take that back. Bjorn's had SMD for a while. It's just about got a second cell loaded, so never mind. Never mind. Nuke is not going to make his way through. However, he could nuke these. At point blank range, they won't have time to dodge. If he nukes out the fat boys, he'll have a major ground force he can just push on in with. And at that point, Bjorn would have to be worried. So another shield going up, and work continues on the nuke. So I think this is going to be Battle Moose's last play. Get the nuke up, nuke that, then he will be in a great position. However, Bjorn has now scouted the nuke, so he knows it is being built. He'll know when it's done. He may start targeting that with his T3 RT, because hey, whether or not it can get his base, it can still do a lot of damage down here. And this is a fat boy without shields, so it's probably strayed too close to these one time too many. And in fact, here we go. Here's some more shots coming out. So it'll be fine. It's going back out of range. Takes a couple of rounds, but it's all good. And up the top here, Moose is firmly entrenched. So Bjorn could have aimed his T3 out up here and taken down Moose. This is all just T2 shielding. It wouldn't have taken it long to get down. Could have done that and sent an air as well. He's got plenty of broadswords. Could have popped in some strats. Instead, he's gone for the tier. Oh, that's going up so fast. Two of those shelling down at a moment. And is Moose evacuating his comm? Is he going to YOLO it into space? No, he's just sitting in the transport. All good. Pushing up with those Percivals though. He wants to try and clear a path. Unfortunate timing. Oh, the launcher is virtually complete actually. He's got plenty of T2 defense along with some T3 mobile arty. And now he's being forced to drop back in the face of a greater force. And the broadswords, which he has. Oh, there's the Cougars. More Dakar. It's a sight to behold. Although broadswords are very chunky, it takes a long time to kill them. Still cool to see though. And yep, Moose has got his commander back in the base. So, safe. Now then, that's actually not building at a slow rate. So he's got a lot of assistance on there. And if he, like I said, if he can nuke these two, I think he'd be in with a shout. Got another couple of Percivals rocking up on the right hand side, and there's nothing to defend against them. All the point defense is dead, there's no units. T3 RD may pick them up. T2 RD might turn around and spot them. We shall have to wait and see. an issue. Engineers up the front trying to claim out as much mess as they can from this wreckage, because hey, why not? It's there. Has Moose spotted the Perseus? Well, he knows the dots are there, so he might send somebody over. Well, there are a few T2PD which are opening up, and if that Percy just stands there, it will eventually die. Let's play. 40% gone. I'm 90% certain this will be the target. Up here is now just a little static thing. I do wonder what would be the range on, find me a T2 engineer. T1, where's T2? Ah, okay. Well, the pieces have come up and they're being shot by a transport. It's not going to get a lot done. Alright, that's 50% done, so we need to keep an eye on that. The shells are raining in, there will be a second one shortly. How far away is that? Well, it's done. It's tuning us turret, so that's now 2 Arty on the side. Com comes over and pings those. That's not great news for Moose. He has called the GG, but he has not quit as you said. He still has Percival's out the front here trying to keep the line, but honestly I would just drop those back. Let the T2 RT bank deal with everything. Outranges them all. 75%. And he gets the nuke out. Here are Dukes. Finish the day and... oh hello. That's actually all his ground forces gone too. So we sent them all in, trying to do something, and then they died. Something died over here. Shields going down, factory going down. It has nothing left in it. Trying to rebuild power because he does not want to stall. Ooh, one more shell. It's alive for now. Can he get more shielding up? Oh, there go the paras over to take another hit. As they do, this shield generator is about to go back up, but the second shell comes in. Just too late to save it. And Moose calls the proper GG and control Ks. And fair enough too. That nuke really was his last option. I mean, he had to have known there was SND in Bjorn's base. Yeah, absolutely did. So I'm sure he was going to use it for this army, but he'd just thrown away all his forces a moment ago, so I'm not sure what the plan was after that. Have a thought. But, well, he could have gone for a tech snipe. Maybe. Pumped a few of those down and gone to throw some in, although knowing how high these players are rated, Bjorn would have scouted them and taken steps with some TMD, I would surely imagine. But there we have it. So an hour and 10 minutes on a 10 by 10 map. Very even fight for a lot of it, you know, some back and forth. And had that nuke survived and managed to pop one out, cool. There we go, folks. First round of the night, and it's a lovely 1v1. Well worth casting, and I just want to say thanks to Foodman Steve. He actually pointed that one out to me. He gave me the replay ID, and that was, well worth a look. Well worth. Alrighty, you will excuse me while I have myself a drink as I line up the play. Okay, so we're going to go from a 1v1 to a 6v6. So from the individual games off to a team game. And just for something. This is going down on a, well, I'd say relatively new map. It's been around for a bit, but it's been cropping up a lot more recently. It is Adaptive Millennium. It's got a few lanes to fight over. Not a huge amount of mess in the middle, although there are some rocks you really want to get early because they have. Anyway, let's sort by the bots, and team 1 is here at the top, so we're going to start with them. And on the front left we have Doobie, a 333, and he is gone red Aeon, opening himself first land. Up in the air position, basically it is Brooks and lime green Cybran. Down here it is Nightblood, who has the option of going air, or he could green Aeon. Beside him in Note and Lavender, Cybran gone first land as well. Once over we have Comrade Striker, white UEF, opening first land and grabbing some of that reclaim already. And Wave is the final player for team 1. He is orange Seraphim on the right. Go. Now let's have a look down at T2. On the far side we have Ionic. He is yellow Seraphim, and he starts out the Weasel, and he Cyan UEF air because that's plateau, so you can't even get raided by ground units. You can just focus on air and be happy. And just down the plateau from him we have the Duelist, who Cybran and Comrade Striker is trying to cheat. Bad. Beside him we have Hero. Stuff up beside him in Petra. This is Control Shift K to spawn Paragon. That's like telling people Alt F4. And he is Seraphim, like I said, and Zachi open first air. And beside him is Hethia, who's also Seraphim. His commander is, well, pushing up because Doobie has done exactly the same thing with his command. He is going to grab all of this mass. It's enough for a T2 mech, so he steals a march on Scuzz. Toggle? No, I called him by his unit name, didn't I? Doobie steals a march on Scuzz, and he gets all the reclaim. I'm sorry, Scuzz, you were too late. That's a bit of common com action, but neither of them are really good at that because just go out that early. And Gus is pushing off to the left to grab these. Looks like an engineer is queued up from Tetra to grab these ones, though stopping to build some mass extractors, not usually the best idea. Better to get in early rather than later. Heatwave says he messed up and he needs E. Enough of it. Duh. He has a Hydro. What's he stalling on? Unless I missed the part where he didn't finish the Hydro. Anyway, checking out here though, these rocks of course were looks like they were actually grabbed by Heatwave. Out. Actually grabbed by Ionic, who then dropped back. Action in the middle because there's more rocks here of course. It's Hero grabbing his whilst not. That's building a T-bar mix, but yeah. Here we go. Some more of that common com action. Yeah. Just chilling. Character he built while Scuzz wanders past because he wants to grab these rocks. Right, calling a watch out for two comms in the middle because quite often you will have a second one push up. Drop here from Dweezil, he is growing properly up here to grab these rocks and mass extractors. Fair. Grabbing T2 on his comm in a rather ballsy position, right up front, nothing doing, and engine chases on. Rocks first. Well, easy bets. Gonna be Ionic or Heatwave. Which engineer will get to this rock first? Actually, Heatwave has the advantage here. He is closer. Now, will they turn around and reclaim each other or carry on? No, probably haven't noticed. Toxic behavior. Probably because of the T1 bombers overhead being annoying. Oh, that's a good bomb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 engineers out of that guy. Ow. And this one over here, 7 kills to his name. Gonna get 3 more. 2 more. So 9 kills now. Right, a couple of T1 bombers getting work done. It's gonna circle back around for these guys maybe. No. Gonna drop a... get that single one there, but Interceptor pops out and 10 kills will be all this bomber gets unless it decides to pick up another clump of NGs. But no, good turn from that Interceptor. Out of the skies it goes. Okay. Let's go just a little bit quiet. We have a gun upgrade on the way for Heatwave, while his counterpart Ionic has actually just about finished this T2. So if he can get some point defense down early, that will pretty much stop gun comm in its tracks. Extra firepower, especially if it keeps his comm in front of the point defense as a shield. Moving his units away. Side though, Scuzz has grabbed this max extractor and is upgrading it. Not a bad plan to upgrade this one early because it can only be hit by torpedoes. Comes over and reclaims it, so we'll take a... Speaking of max extractors taking a while to be taken down, this one here has been chilling quite some time. Alright, let's have a look for tech. T2 up here for Brooks, and he's grabbing a transport, so maybe playing with something somewhere. It's lag, fair enough. I don't see it, we're good. No tech on the ground for Doobie, he's sticking with the T1. Somebody's CPU is overheating, sucks to be like. How about tech for Nightblood? Nope, he's still all T1. Finishing a gun upgrade on this comm. Mass Extractor going to die. Fast, going to finish that off. Tip easy. Going on, a set of units. Gun upgrade on the way for Hero. Buzzkill, so he has concerns about tech launches. See any... Hey... Have a T1 bomber out, that's going to cause some issues. Radars are easy to kill, they're very low hit points. Dying intel is always a good thing. No sign of anti-rounds that calls out T1 bombers because it does, because there's one there. Some of his own. Alright, Ionic up front and he's throwing down a point defense against bombers. It's actually going to die a slow death. It's coming in at all, and we see that bomber came over here is going to get nothing done thanks to the pair of thistles from Wave. And the T1 bomber's getting work done over here though. So it's probably not the best thing when your point defense is getting murdered by air and T-Nardi. Got 1 kill after all that. Just wasted, and he's actually boldly standing in artillery fire, trying to put up point defense that is just simply going to be focused down, or you don't want to be standing there. Terrible idea. We're just going to check. There's a little bit of raid going on past here. Probably going to get a couple of kills, but not too much. Going to have to watch down here though. Ionic is absolutely adamant staying there. Well, he was up until a moment ago. Sending up some units though to help keep the forces at bay. Bombers are just continuing to drop bombs on him. Some mobile anti-air? Nope, static one here, built by T1 engineers. Still not being too bothered by it. Still insisting on trying to put up that T2 point defense. Some interceptors coming from Dweezil, and this would probably run out and run out as these superior forces. Right, on the left hand side, you've got to keep an eye out. Scuzz is a gun upgraded comm facing up against the units. He'll be fine. Some T2 PD here by engineers coming up, so he'll be able to creep that. Problems. On the right though, we've got to keep an eye on things because Ionic is still up front with this comm. Is not upgraded. Hasn't yet managed to get down any kind of reasonable PD except for that one, so we can fall back to that if he so feels like it. Which, in the face of Heatwave coming up, who looks like he does, he's going to have to be careful. But I know, that's T2, he could have both. But that's another bomber coming over. Some more damage, and there we go. Another point of defense started up for Ionok. Is this bomber going to die? Yes, this bomber's going to die. Go. Now then, we mentioned about this mix needing to be killed by torpedoes, and there it is. Torpedo can slightly take it down, and a pair of engineers just waiting. In fact, I think this one was capturing the mix. Yes, it was. So, no so one engineer capture, one engineer reclaiming, and a torpedo launcher killing. Communication is key, folks. Alright, Scuzz on the left is on with his comm. He's taking out some units. Does have to be a little careful. He's quite isolated, and it's a large number of them. Looks like Doobie is paranoid about tech launches. Correctly so, because it looks like, yep. So Scuzz was starting on a launcher. I don't know what happened first, whether it was the launcher or... But it's not going to get much done. In the middle, I hear Mongoose. They are running to a rather large band of T1 units they want to stay away from, though. Quite painful. On the right hand side, it looks like Ionok is finally getting himself settled in, and he's putting a shield generator, so he going to run that on T1 power. I know. Seraphim. Okay, so he's using energy from his teammates. Not the greatest idea, I don't think. So they may start to use the energy for themselves, and then your shields are gone. Don't do that. Touch you could, but really, you want to get the power first if you can. Alright, scouts are going out. Have any shenanigans planned or not? Ooh, you gotta be careful, Scuzz. Should be alright, but there's now a T2 point defense in the area, so he can't stay there. He's gonna dip into the water. He'll be safe. However, Navy. Doobie is making Navy. That's probably the wrong choice. He's the wrong faction for it. Cybran, you can make Salems. They're going to go for a walk on land. If you can make cruisers, their tech missiles have great range. And the same with Seraphim. Cruisers again, great range. Big area denial. Checking up here, that is a solid combat comm. That's gun range and speed along with shield and notice calling out from to be careful. Because shielded gun comm or no, that's a brutality. Comm pops out of the water, starts picking off Auroras, and they are just not going to last long against that. If it wasn't an upgraded comm, they'd have a better shot, but that is an upgraded comm, so the Auroras are going to die. Not much in the way of supporting units around them. Got some engineers which built a point defense with a single wall. Different. But okay, it is what it is. Checking out the middle is the Soul Realm of Nightblood. That's a strat. Uh-oh. That strat has been pinged, and well, Dweezil does have ASF in the area, but has he not noticed it? They're just sitting on the ground. The strat bombs away, takes out... Oh, those are T3 mixes, so they will survive. The air is up from Dweezil. Where are the ASF going? There we go, they've finally locked onto it. And that should be the end of that strat bomber. Off it goes. Gets another bomb away though, and is going to kill 2 T2 mixes. Alright, and speaking of air, here comes a counter amount of air from Duelist, and he is going straight for Nightblood. That's half his shield's gone in one pass, actually 3/4 of the shield. It's got no anti-air with him, however there is a wing from Brooks right here, ready to spy on up. But right now, Nightblood needs to be careful and hope that he should be right. There's plenty of air here to take out the Corsairs. And he did have a shield comm with a rank of Confederacy, so he is reasonably tough. And as we see the Corsairs dwindling in numbers, in fact dwindling all the way. And they're gone. So they did enough to scare Nightblood off though, so he is not going to want to stay at the front anymore, and I believe that was the entire plan, just to get him back there. Alright, some T1 Artie floating over to help take care of things because Guz can't stay in the water with that sitting around, and he has to be careful coming out of the water because of this floating around, as well as Doobie has pushed up this comm and starting Little Wee base there. Now the attack launchers, well, they haven't got a single kill. I wonder if they've actually launched this way, because that'd be pointless because of all the TMD. Right, Scuzz has got out and he's walking away. I hear more bombers because, oh dear, that's quite the raid gone past, and well, the registers, oh hell, that's another strat. Another strat, and where are your ASF? Well, they're sitting here on the ground while your base is getting bombed. Dweezil, wake up! Oh my. What has this thing? Has 14 kills. Now the ASF have woken up. There was a lot of things around this air factory. Were. Oh dear. Alright, I'm hearing point defense walls somewhere. It ain't there. Here? No. Alright, got some floating artillery being annoying on that front. Time out, some jesters come out to shoo them away, which they very well will, because of course they have no anti-air capability. Nightblood has actually come back to the front with this comm, so he's not concerned about bombers anymore. Right, and just reclaim that area for his own. Right, let's check out what is going on the rest of the game though. We have T3 air. Note is telling Nightblood to get back. There's no point for his commanders to be there, and well, he's quite right. This stage of the game, a lot of air. We have a bunch of scouts out from Note, so he's going to see a bunch of things. So that means he's in the T3 air game as well, which indeed he is. Right. Artie and kill this navy, or he could just artillery he's got right here to do exactly the same thing. So he's probably focused on shooting this way at the moment because he's a counter T2 artillery in the spot. Heck, he could even use his tech launchers to kill that. There's a call for Heatwave to watch out for some reason. Because he's up here. I don't see why. Bunch of tier 1 bombers, but they're not going to be a threat. He's got flak here, right? Yeah. There's a couple of flak floating around. He should be fine. Left though, looks like Doobie has set himself in quite well. He's sitting under a couple of T2 shields, Skinner working on a second Artie. However, he's going up against Seraphim T2 shields, which are way stronger, and there's already T2 Artie and a third one about to finish, so he's going to struggle to hold on to this. If he loses that, the artillery can turn its attention to the naval factory and wipe. There goes. That's where the T2 Artie is shooting, so it's not even firing at this forward base. It's not going to last too long over there. We had Navy planned, and there we go, Seraphim Navy going for T2, much more useful because of the cruisers. Checking out here though, that is a couple of T2 shields. Do we have some PGs? Got some point defense going up to help keep things in check. There's one T2 Artie back here chipping away at the shields. Some units moving in to reinforce. Now the rest of the map though, quite a few floaty units being annoying. Despite the shield going down, nothing else has happened. It is still well up and good. There's some tech launch. Ooh, where are they going for? Zero. He's not going for a sniper, is he? He's TMD right there. Looks like he is really trying. I don't think he understands how Aeon TMD works. I really don't. Because they are going to get literally nothing done. Thanks to that volcano. Don't know if he's realised that or just stopped firing. Thinking that would do enough. Okay, we've got a push coming down the middle though, and that is a combined force from Note and Nightblood. All just units. I think they're just clearing the way out. Ionic says use T1 bombs to kill TMD. What TMD? TMD? Oh, hello. This has been breached. So the T2ID from Scuzz has pushed through and wiped out the T2ID from Doobie. Now, looks like Doobie is pushing up with his units. However, they are going to walk into some point defense of their own. Having said that, there is a lot of them and not a lot of point defense. Scuzz is in the area with his Guncom, so he can start overcharging things. He probably wants to focus on the, there we go, Obsidians. He's going to have to be careful though, he doesn't want to stay around there too long. That is a fair amount. Has got 3 shields, which are keeping things under safe for now, and looks like they have probably made the difference along with the commander. And yeah, there's some overcharges to help clean things up. He's back here getting work done. Nice overcharge, takes around 4 or 5 units, and that's all she wrote for that factor. So a push in from to nothing on the right hand side, and that is Heatwave coming up with this comm, whilst Ionic is trying to build more point defense. He's going to need to be careful, he does not have a gun comm, and Heatwave is backed up by a whole swarm of units. Ionic has a bunch of his own and is spamming out some T1 PD to help, which will help until that shield goes down. He wants to be careful though, that's a lot of Ushivas and a Guncom. It's not going to take long for his hit points to drop. And T1 bombs coming out from Dweezil? Yeah, so it is Dweezil. They missed their target though and are going to die to flak on the way past. Maybe, maybe not, but now Ionic, out of PD, running out of units and has a Guncom on his face. Oh dear. Why are you still standing there? Units are gone. Ushivas around him. Guncom, you're dead, sir. 100% dead. So first ejection of the game coming at just under the 20-minute mark, and it is Ionic. He is taken out by Heatwave, and is that full share on? Oh, we had T3 as well. Nope, it's not full share. That all dies. Ionic had T3 land, and that would have made a huge difference had he been able to bring it in play, but too late. Heatwave takes him out. Game. Checking out here though, and this is Scuzz still sitting up front. He has built, working on a 4th arty, which is absolutely cleaned out this position. There's nothing left. Couple of flak, but they're not going to last long, and I imagine after that we're going to see, well, we've already got T280 from somewhere else. There we go, Tetra, so, killing that. But now there's mass to be had. 30,000 mass in the wreckage of Ionic's base, and it's going to go to Heatwave, but Comrade Striker, who's been quiet a lot of the game, has built a fat boy. So he's focused himself up on eco. There we go, we have T3 mixes all around, and he has built a fatty. 20 minutes into the game, first experimental hour, so fat boy says watch this work. Watch this work. And work it does. Strat bombers from Brooks just come straight through the middle. Absolutely destroy the duelist, who has also been rather quiet this game, and Tetra's already got engineers on the transport coming to claim the mass. Because why wouldn't you? So that's 2 players down for team 2. It is now a 6 versus 4. And this mass looks to be in the hands of Heatwave. It's a lot of reclaim. More alarmingly, there's a fat boy on the way. Have we got anything being built to stop it? See anything there? There are a few T2 artillery here, which might give it a bay for a while. We do have T3 land from Hero. He's rolling out some spearheads, which will help. A brief pause there apparently, which has then resumed. But see anything else? Checking out over this side. Well, those T2 already have done, and that is a chicken started. Late in the game, I don't think it's going to get much to do against that Fat Boy, and Riptides are trying to take down this T2 Naval Factory because you don't want that cruiser to finish. However, they are in range of the Fat Boy, and I don't think they're going to actually range the as well from over here. They're not going to finish that done. Those stars. Note is building nuke defense. Is that he is, or is seeing nuke defense? Well, because there's a nuke launcher here. Who stops building the nuke launcher and starts building a Fat Boy, because yeah, that might be the priority right now because of that. Alright, so Heatwave has a factory up and should start throwing out engineers to grab all this reclaim, because that would be very, very handy indeed to do. God. Well, there's a bunch of T3RD, T2RD, which should sit within range of the Fat Boy. Got it on radar. Just about in range of the T2. Should expect that to turn unless they are distracted by these T1 units. But it's going to wander in range any second now. There we go. The artillery turn. Well, yes it does. That one does, because it's in range of that one. Right, here we go. The other four are not. Though it has called out the nuke, so it has been spotted. However, that Fat Boy went up really quickly from Hero, and he now has a counter to this Fat Boy with his own. This Fat Boy does have supporting units in the shape of Percivals and Bricks, however, so gonna have to be cautious. All the artillery is turning over now. If not the Fat Boy, then they're going to start shooting at the Percivals. That's a whole lot of scouts. That was a whole lot of Nothers. They may have been going for a snipe, but they have just been decimated by this airwing from Note, who hangs around to clean up. Loses. Oh, actually, I think he's going to win here. I think he's got more overall. That's a. And more T2 fighter bombers getting picked up. That's a lot of time and effort. And Strats on the left. Oh no, Scuzz. 2, 3. Didn't have that rank in vet, he would have been in trouble. Strat bombers have been pinged, and is there going to be help coming over? There we go, there's the air from that. Stay under your shields, good sir, you're going to need them. 2, and the shield holds, and the stress go down. So had his commander not had that rank in vet, and the Janus are going in for the Fat Boy, doing some good damage over there. He's going to retreat on the shields though, and I think it will be fine because there's plenty of anti-air around the place. So Scuzz commander saved by having ranks in vet. Possibly not enough, and he finishes off his Yathota, which goes for a walk, and I think it's going straight for the water because he can pop out somewhere else and cause. Ubi is on the vacate. He doesn't want to hang around much longer. Decided this is the experimental stage. I'm getting out of my base and going somewhere else. Fair enough. Off he goes. Betty from Hero. And it's having a go at whatever it can reach, which just happens to be all that. And oh, Tetra's built his own experimental. There it is. Chicken. So he's joined the experimental game. But we mentioned that Naval Factory popping out cruisers. This is what they do. Massive area denial. Let's just check the range on that thing. There we go. Cleans things up, and even if we move forward, it could get another section. Not very nice. Alright, Fat Boy moving up for Hero. Doesn't have much in the way of direct fire ground units, so does not want to push too far forwards. Because should it be caught by these Percivals and Bricks? Is there somewhere? Oh, still Percivals now. That's a dangerous amount of Percivals. You want to run away. But on the left, the Yathota's coming out at the same time, has getting primaried by some strategic bombers and a Fat Boy and point defense. So I'll keep walking in. Then again, that's a lot of Percy's. And the strats. That's not going to get a lot done. Looks like the Janus are popping in to have a go at something. Maybe the Fat Boy? Yeah, definitely the Fat Boy. But it's got shields. They're not going to get much work done there. And this Fat Boy, is it going to be caught by the Percivals? And a destroyer. Actually, cannot even shoot over the lip. Nope, it's quite heavily shooting the ground, so don't bother with destroyers, just build cruisers, because they have such a long reach. Alright, Fat Boy is got some serious issues. T1 bombers spammed overhead, they're going to get cleaned up by the air wing, but it is the Percivals coming in close and the ground units. Although these are all T1 and they're going to be intercepted themselves, so don't stop moving. I think it's dead. It's just about in range of those Percys, and come the shots. Boom, boom, boom. Look at the chunks going down. Might survive actually if the chicken can get in range and prevent it. Parashields. Parashields keeps it alive as well, so coming and clutching with the chicken and the Parashields, the Fat Boy survives. There was a call just a moment ago I saw to get tele defense. So normally when somebody says get tele defense, oh, that one did survive and it's pushing up now. Die some though. Still going to get work done though, going to take out a bunch of units, and a fresh Yathoda is going to simply push on in and clean shop. Not enough there to stop it. Strat bombers be the way, or even whalers, so that's a solid air presence. How far in is that going to make it is a question, and in fact this chicken doesn't make it back to the border, it dies to strats. Keep a double check on, and okay, that Yathoda is cleaning up that, no problems. And looks like it is just pushing right into the middle of the base. A good choice, keep walking, let the Deathstorm take things out. Stopping right there wouldn't have been a bad choice, but that's okay. It dies, kills a bunch of things around it, and we shall see the Deathstorm do its thing. I hear more bombs, what are they going for now? Ah, T1 bombs onto the NGs, no worries. Zap, zap, zap. Nuke! Where's that? There it is. Now I knew he had one. Where's it going? I did see SMD. Nightblood says he's loaded. Sure, I saw one here. That one's loaded, but it is going off to the right because Heatwave has no SMD. Down here cleaning up his base. And it's made it. And what's it going to kill? Should kill all of these, I imagine. Boom. Just misses that T3 mix, but kills all the power, and I think there was a T2? Maybe T3, yeah. But still a lot of eco lost. Could have killed the commander if they knew where he was, because he is on an upgrade under the water, doing nothing. Could have died there. But checking out down here, those cruisers are out. As mentioned before, still just the one cruiser being a pain, is taking down other air and trying to use tech missiles on a Yathoda, which is moving, which does absolutely nothing. Looks like the put some T2 fighter bombers just to kill those engineers off rather than have the Yathoda walk back. Not a bad plan, and it's just going to wander out forwards. Clean out all of this, I imagine. I don't think there's enough here to stop it. There are a handful of T2PD and another one going up. But that is a Yathoda. It's an experiment for a reason. You know, on the left there's a lot of anti-air because, well, air killed two Yathodas over there. Fat Boy still rolling around for Hero. Is having a grand old time with 137 kills. Alright, on the right hand side that Yathoda is wandering on up as mentioned, but here comes the air. That's a lot of whalers. Hero has built another Fat Boy, so he's all well and good. Happy as can be. I don't think this Yathoda is going to last much longer. Whalers are going to pop over here. It's already half dead, and those health is just going to melt. Down it goes, and literally down it goes. Looks like Heatwave has finished the Africanist commander. Looks like maybe he was planning to come out and get a few shots on himself. Gun and nano repair. You probably don't want to walk out right now. Be a bad idea. You can't fight a lightning storm. No, turn around, turn around, turn around. Yeah, okay, bad idea. Look how much health he lost in just a few seconds. He's half dead. That was absolutely not the best time to walk out of the water. Oh my. Almost suicided that. Right, looks like the Fat Boy came over and decided it did not like the factory, and the factory is gone, and now the cruisers are under threat. They are having to dodge and move to avoid getting shot. Same for the Fat Boy though. If this is still, it will take fire and T2RD up there. T2RD up there. Plus Percival's. They're sort of just wandering around. Okay, we do have some. Oh no, we don't have TMD. Because they don't have TMD. So that must have been anti-air. I hear more chickens. Here we go. So a chicken pops out of the water and catches some bricks by surprise. They are going to get absolutely annihilated. Looks like there was a claim on for the mass spy note, and also Nightblood bringing some stuff over. The call for Brooks to make a Tsar so they think they have air and can make a donut. I would agree with them. They have this more than one player in the air game, so doing quite well. Chicken finishes off the bricks, maybe? Just standing there now. Ah, no, it's been picked up by the whalers, but there's a lot of lightning tanks around and they dish out some damage. Took out a strat or two, I think, flying through, and now they are just bashing down those whalers. Why they changed targets to the T1, I have no idea. But they're there, they're killing whalers while they focus on the Athota, which is trying to walk up and get things done. The whalers, they remain focused on the Athota, which will go down. But the lightning tanks are quite hardy. And in fact, there's an air wing in from Dweezil, so he's going to help clean things up. Fighting over friendly anti-air is a great plan, so they can help your cause, but they can't help against ground units, sniper bots, and a brick coming in. Yep, they are understandably running away. Checking out the middle though, that is that Fat Boy, well under shields, is going to run into a bank of T2RD and another pair of Fat Boys, so I don't think that's a good plan. There is a Rambo support commander in the middle, very hardy with the shields, probably on a reclaim mission. Alrighty, Nightblood has finished up. This have finally died to something, probably these. Nightblood finished an experimental, and that is a GC, so that's all good to go. Times indeed. So there actually is another chicken here from Tetra as well, so we have two Fat Boys and a chicken in the middle. They've got to be concerned about that, as well as the nuke. As well, we have tele defense on the way for Hero. He is safe and sound. It's calm right now. Shield and some power generator. T3RD has begun, so he's very much focused on the in-game and trusting his bank of T2RD here to be sufficient to deter pushes from things, and the siege tanks will just die. See this com because I am blind. There it is, standing right beside the from, well, that is from Oat, so he's got a counter nuke now. Did Hero build SMD? Yes he did, it's right there, and it's loaded. So he built his own nuke and his SMD. He did not want to be caught out by his own tactics. There is a lot of Percy's pushing up. It's the pop, safe. However, there is a shielded Yathota. There is two Fat Boys behind them, and there's some siege tanks and Percy's of their own in the mix, so I think this is a mass donation. A second nuke? Well, no, it's a counter nuke from Hero, and he's going where there's no anti. That's actually not a bad plan. There's a lot of T2RD in here, which is a direct counter for the Fat Boys. If he pops those out, then they can push up a lot further and get work done. It's a strat coming in from somewhere. Going for, probably for the chicken. Yep, there we go. Oh, that's a good strat. Chicken dies in a most inconvenient position, gotta stay away from there. I do hear another one, it's over here, killing off a sniper bot. It's a support commander, not a real commander. Good. Over here, Heatwave has just been chilling out on his Lonesome, getting an upgrade, and there's his missile defense because he wants to get one after getting nuked. And he's also working on his own Ythota. Still just finishing off completing the repair of his ego. But now we see this has become a wide open gap. A lot of resources were poured into keeping that intact and pushing Fat Boys into an ion storm. Okay, I stopped. It's fine. It's fine now. A lot of air on the left, however. There's a okay. There's only T1 bombers. We're okay. Going for 4 hapless T3 Mobilati. What did it ever do to you? But you're gonna die. Got the kill though. This Ythota is standing there. It's killing scouts, but it is under fire from a Banker T2 up here, as well as a sniper bot from over here, and a restorer overhead. So, yeah. Quite happily just standing there dying. Percy's underwater are going to pop up here, and they could cause some major damage. There are a bunch of T2PD, but it could take shields down, open things up. A general nuisance of themselves. On the right hand side we see Tetra has got a firm hold over here. He's taken the for some reason. Very slow build on that. Okay, that is a lot of anti-air, so Scuzz does not like the air game. And now he's popping up some more tech launchers. Planning a tech snipe or something? Well, OTMD could no, there we go. The tech's been spotted, the TMD's going up, so 4 TMD feathers. And he's still got these back here. See, look at these, they got 0 kills. Tetra says, who should I target with Artie? Because it is, well, 60% done. But do we have a counter? Oh, no, that's ground units from there. We know. Explodey? Oh, just a support commander. That's right. Oh, because this is GC. Well, those tech missiles aren't going to get anything done, and that GC will. Anyway, I was looking for a well, actually we have laser, so Note may be considering a telemaze. We're going to have to try and keep an eye on that. Oh, do we have any other kind of game vendors planned elsewhere? No, we don't. Nightblood is busy building support commanders and restorers, fair enough. Side up here, entrenched, building more power. It is no, so Brooks is focusing on air quite heavily, which is fair enough. He's got a couple of kills out of that. My chicken out here though, chicken is chasing down the GZ. It's getting peppered by some T2ID just nearby. GC finishes off support commander, and there's a whole bunch of anti-air just waiting to die. Poor things. My strats are moving over to the right. They might be going for something. Notes is starting teleporter, and he's yelling for E because he wants to get that done sooner rather than later. A few strats, no sniper attempt over there. And the GC and chicken meet up. The chicken turns and stops firing its gun. Oh dear. That's not good. You need to turn back. You need to turn back. He's gonna lose. GC versus chicken and air around the place. And a strat overhead. Oh my. There we go. Turns back, but it's a little bit too late now. You might as well stop there. GC has to go somewhere. Gets a rank Confederacy. The GC might actually survive this. Even though the lightning storm will pop out, I think it's going to get away in time. Or maybe not. That does a lot of damage. You do not want to get caught near that. Wowza. That's a dead GC. Right, in the middle though we have a, that still has, no, it's a Rambo. Right, Heatwave has finished his own experimental, so there goes this chicken. How's that teleporter going? Well, not good. That must be the T3RD. There we go, there's the shells. Raining on in, trying, I don't know if they spotted the teleport coming, or if he's just focused on Note because he has a lot of ego, which he really does. Teleporter is paused while he tries to do that. Nightblood is saying move. He's telling him to move because of the shells raining in, but I think if it's just the one, he should be okay if he can spam up some more shields. And in fact, there's a T3 Seraphim shield coming up from Heatwave to help out. Alright, if he's going to telemaze, who's it going to be? Alright, let's check out for... Well, we have Scuzz is over here, but... got some T1 PD near him, and a couple of T2, not a huge amount, but he is under a couple of heavy shields, so he might be alright. Down here, well, Tetra has to be a little careful, doesn't want to stray too far from his defensive field here. He could tele in here and maze over that way and kill him. Having said that, there is some air location which could cause issues. Beside him, well, Hero's going to be fine. He's beside a whole bunch of T1 PD and he has shield on this com. He'll be right. And over here we have, well, that's another T3 RD going up from Dwee. But where's his... Don't see his commander. Definitely no... Oh, you could tell him he's up here and murder everything. There's no point defense at all. Anyway, oh, there it is. There's his com just standing here in the middle of nowhere. No defenses around him. There are some T2 fighter bombers, so if he decides to telemaze there, I think he's going to find that... Wow. Has he just been building those and forgot about them? How many Nothers does he have? 52 Nothers. Sorry, 55 Nothers. That's ridiculous. And ping goes down on Hero because he's been spotted, but Nightblood says here, no tele defense. I think you need to scout again, sir. Surely you've seen that. Well, yeah, there's tele defense. His gun speed and range. Fat Boy's in the middle. There's 3 of them now, absolutely clambering forward. But I'll tell you what, if you can telemaze, that's air. That is air. None of these guys have T3 air themselves. There's a whole bunch of Nothers, yes. That's not T3. Still only that. Hero says kill a nuke defense, so he's trying to tell him what to aim for with arties. And we see here now that the T3 Sera shield plus Cyber one's a bit of an overlap. There is some damage that spills through, but overall these shields are very strong. Reckon needs to try and keep an eye on that. We have a load of strats here. They could be going for a snipe on somebody at the same time. Tetra has an experimental up. It's a fair number of strats. Have they been seen? Because we have air over here from Dweezil. So maybe those have been spotted, or is he just popping over there for random reasons? Unknown. There's no signature on the back of there, so there's been a change in what they're planning. No, it's still popping out another GC. I don't see any arty plans. Shields go down over here though, and that's going to be hello. We have the Blinky. Do we have... Is it going down here? Oh, yes it is. Paying attention, you'll hear that sound. Start looking for it, usually near your commander. And, oh, he's got a transport nearby. He could get away. If he heard it... Oh, now he's noticed something. Strats are coming in as well, so they really want to kill him, and the strat bombs actually take out the transport as it goes over, but Note is going to die. Plenty of air, and so it's trade. Look at the Nothers. Kaboom. I don't think it would have been able to get away in the... Oh, it's a satellite as well. Oh my. So, bit of counter coming here from Team 1. Brooke says, nah, can we make a damn Tsar? Because, hey, they have air all by themselves. That's a... There's Novax. SMD. But all of this dies, and that leaves Heatwave standing in the open, and he quite rightly panics and starts running away immediately. Now, where are... attack missiles, and they attack. T3RD is, have they spotted Brooks up in the corner? I think that's where the shell is going. Yep, there it is. Good times. Shells overshooting the edge of the map. They just fall. Careful, mate. And that's a nuke out. Where's that going? Because I'm pretty sure everybody's got SMD. That Novax is a pain. And actually that has gone straight up the guts. It was going towards Comrade Striker, who his evac is com because his SMD is not loaded. Oh no. Why would you not have built that after the very first nuke? This is all gonna die. And in fact he control K's it all. Really? Come on. Let your stuff die with dignity. Now, no reclaim. He's flying his commander back in. Still has an army in defense, but I think mentioned building a Tsar. There it is. They need to get on it really quickly because they have air control and they should start abusing it. They do have Skulls over here. Well, he could be sniped. Sitting under a single T2 shield. Oh, no, he's moving. Never mind. He'll be under the T3 as well. So he'll be mostly safe. And he's building his own T3RD. Oh my word. He could have been sniped at any time. Those strats they sent down here to kill off the Weasel, they could have sent them over here to kill Skulls, and that would have been a difference. And how many RDs do we have? Oh, there's two there. Another one there. And now Hero's onto his own Novax. So after being shot by one, he's like, hey, that's a good idea. I'll build my own Novax. As you do. A chicken up here though, Fat Boys have been picked up by the Restorers because why not? You own air that hard, may as well do it. That will be the second one to go down. Shields blink on. There's some Nothers coming in to try and help out. Actually, now that his power has stabilized, because that one died having no shields, I think we'll find this one will be fine. And hello! Those T3 RDs have finally gotten through the shields and killed off Brook. And that is going to be this half-completed Tsar is not going to complete. SACU goes back to its original owner Nightblood, because that was what was start building the Tsar, and now we have some issues. But this is a double chicken push with plenty of backup behind them, and these Fat Boys need to start running and running hard. A lot of damage being thrown onto their Percy though, Percys are coming in to help cover, and they will be able to dish out a lot of damage, but these units will cause them to die pretty quickly. Here come the Nothers! Down goes the first one. Look at all that. I think the Fat Boys are going to get away, and we're going to see the second one die pretty quickly. Down it goes. So it was a push attempt, unfortunately ran into running away Fat Boys and a whole horde of Percivals, and now all these Nothers are free to just roll around and kill stuff. And in fact there's a pair of covering chickens from Tetra on the right, so they got called back to help out. Absolutely fine. That is a lot of T2RD firing at the Athota, which is underwater, and the GC is stomping its way down. Not sure where it's going to surface though. Now we do have the next Tsar being made. It's halfway done, so that would be a game changer if they still had air. Because I don't know if anybody really has air. Looks like Tetra has the most. He's got some ASFs, and he's got the Mothers around. Well, eye on that Tsar, it could get done. Check it out on the right though. That's a lot of that is his SMD down. A lot of T1 bombers. That's the meme. SMD's gone. There's nothing to defend over there now. There is a single chicken going to take on two with a bunch of Othams and lightning tanks. There is some PD around, but not enough really, I think, to help out enough. chicken is going to turn back around. Walk. Oh, not a bad plan actually. Walk in front of them, make them have to advance through the lightning field rather than else. But okay, Zara's up. It's going to die and start causing some problems. Not enough. The split is good to stay away from that. Zara is picking off ASF at range, which is really good at. Has a long range and long visibility. But that's a lot of authors which were busy taking out GC. Or GC. Absolutely shredded. And the Tsar is just going straight in. ACF start taking it on. Down go the shields, down go hit points. Cougar's around as well to help take it out. Sam's over here. It is gonna make it sort of. What's it gonna drop on? If it drops on the SMD, it does. So Hero no longer has SMD covering him. Do they have a nuke available to launch? Well, no, they don't, because the nuke belonged. And just look at the T3 is raining down on here, looking to try and kill the empty and the full SMD for Nightblood. But if we hear all the firing over on the right, these two chickens are still alive. Not a small amount of Percival's here. Get things on, and Comrade Striker is evacuating his comm. Nope, Percy's going down. It's going to be T2 trying to take out your Thotas with rolling around with them. Doobie says, I think it's time to call it, bros. And, well, there goes Comrade Striker again, controlling all the stuff. He may as come as well. Two satellites overhead. T3RD just lopping down. His comm over here completely isolated. He's got a couple of SAMs and a couple of TMDs to his name. Shields are gone. SMD goes down. Nothing left to stop the nuke, should it be launched. Add to that we have this force coming in from the right, there's nothing there either. Heatwave up the front, Nightblood up the front. What do? Well, there is Comrade Striker floating around on his commander in a Continental, trying to decide what to do. Maybe he's hiding, I don't know. He's trying to off-map that, but he's going to run past a bunch of lightning tanks, which is not the grandest idea. Especially when you have no shields left on your Continental and he's dead. It says Control K, but I'm pretty sure the lightning tanks got him. And up here we had Nightblood face off against Manly, against a pair of chickens. There goes the nuke from Hero, but there we go. Heatwave is already up front with his comm, walking towards a certain doom. Going to face off against the chicken. Won't get there though. Done by T2RD. So there we have it, folks. Actually a pretty good game. Desync at the end, we don't care. Desyncs are fine at the end. Good game though. Back and forth. Could consider it a bit of a comeback. The seemed to be a little bit on the heels, especially when they lost here, but at that point they already had a couple of artilleries up and they were causing problems up here for Brooks. And upon his death, wow, that left air wide open. They still finished off the Tsar and it could have got work done. It did get work done. I mean, it killed the SMD. Fortunately, Team 1 lost their nuke at the same time. Could not launch and take out all of this. I believe the strats going for Diesel down here when the tally was involved was a bad plan because they could have used him over here. Is on Scuzz, who was, remember, just here. T2 shield only. But that's game. Games T2, well played. have one more cast to do, and I've left the silly fun one for last. I say silly fun because what do? You get a pair, 2 versus 2 bros with virtually unlimited eco. That's right, it's a crazy map, and we have some very high rated players. We have the Wheelie, Hachamacham, Nexus and Turbo 2 on a crazy map where eco just explodes. As you all know, when you build one mix, the next 2 around it become available. So the adjacent things turn into more mass extractors, and you effectively have just keep building. You just keep building more and more and more mass extractors, then you end up with just so many. So let's see what these guys can do when they're given that much eco. We have a early bomber here from Turbo, so he's going to look at doing some annoyances, and factory not putting out any air from it. He's going to want either a bomber or an interceptor. Done and on the way. Well, that's annoying, isn't it? Well, NGs. But that bomber is going to actually get some work done because nothing to stop it, and killing off the power is the move to do. 2 engineers out, and now we have a bomber started. As we get really, that bomber did not drop the bomb. Drop the bomb, Mr. Bomber stops the zone bomb production and switches up to a interceptor. This bomb flies off and gets itself a 1 kill. What happens, engineer? Might get another one, but the interceptor is up and targeting Turbo. Very much less than happy with the performance of that bomber. 1 bomb total, it could have dropped a whole lot more. And now Willie starts his own one. The teammates on the other hand have focused a little more on eco, and you see a lot of power getting dragged up by Nexus. And same here. Archer is, there we go, more power. Just can't build enough power on this map. Alright, Scout's going over, and here comes the counter bomb from Wheelie. Nexus says, I'll build you away, because there it is. Rocking on over to help out. First bomb away, it is going to drop onto the E. Destroying energy is a great idea. Bomber is locked onto by the anti-air, gets away though. We can get another couple of bombs off, you can kill all this power. Bomb, but that's a repair job from Turbo 2, a good idea. So they do not die from a second bomb. Spreads out the repairs to get them alive just enough. As the anti-air wanders over to protect. Fix that one though, that one might still die. No, just doesn't. 4 health left, oh my word. Bomber gets away, could do another run. See a bomb. There we go. Are we going to see some death now? There we go. Pigeon's gone. Bomber goes down. Worth it. Up here we'll have a look, and well, bomber crash, easy, GG. To take out 3 pigeons, which is not very helpful. Turbo, he's going to be a little behind on power now, so he's only got 6 pigeons now. Larger amount for Nexus over here. One who says he doesn't have E, so he's given over a couple of pigeons. And he says he wants them back. Oh, fair enough. Nexus says, went long when you said this be a short one, because he thinks there's problems already. And, well, you know, he's not half wrong. That bomber did a lot. Another one. Alrighty. So slightly slower start because as you start with just the 1 mass extractor, but check it out. You already got that many. Come, let's just have a look. 16. T1 makes slow start. 27 for Hacha. Nexus is sitting on 21 of his own, and Turbo, who got harassed at the start, is sitting on 14. So despite the harassment, he's got his own bomber out as well. Trying to get some work done, but I think it's going to get tagged by interceptors. There we go. So at this point in the game, you're going to want at least 2 or 3 bombs to drop simultaneously to take out as much power as possible. At this point, and then we have a bomber was coming in from Wheelie, but I guess pretty much nothing done. One singular lone scout having a nosy and running. Seem to fight up there, but that goes nowhere. Just Spamish starting from Nexus. Oh, that's a lot of factories. Look at this. He's basically just clicked and dragged to the edge of the map. Can I see one of them? One of the ones that has that lined up. "23 factories were queued by this one engineer. He's going to die in a second, but that's still a lot. However, the units surrounding them are the problem. If we throw in some T1 artillery in here, that will get quite a bit of damage done considering the lack of units they came across when they first rocked in. But now the spam is real. Factories are starting up. Alrighty, checking out the ecos again. Well, we see that Wheelie is a bit behind. He slowed down, probably because he's brought his comm over to help out. Yeah, fair enough. He wants to get more factories up, he wants to get more mass extractors up and more power. As you do. Bomber coming out for Turbo is possibly going to get something done. No, there goes anti-air point defense, gets one bomb away, then dies. Realistically, this is Wheelie actually. It's comm and this is us. Why is he saying us? What is he doing? Find out later. Sent to Wheelie because he needs a bit of a bump to just catch up some after his not so great start. But I'm guessing he's wandering his comm up to the front because he wants to try and win over on the spam side of things. Remember, a comm can soak up a lot of damage, which can help vet, can help tank, can help assist your spam, and it's only worth 2 engineers in your base. It has the same build power as 2 tier 1 engineers, but it has the combat power of approximately, I think they figured out to be 20 tanks. So on the front line it can help out, especially if you have your own spam supporting them. The last thing you want to do is have your combi overrun, because spam is the name of the game on this. As you can see, factories are lined up and they are prepared to throw units out absolutely everywhere. On the left though we have Hachimacha pushing in and stopping the expansion. I say expansion is really not a non-event, and Nexus is up with his comm as well. So he's helping tidy up some of the spam while his units are under pressure. On the right hand side, Wheelie is getting stuff done. I hear T2. Do I? I thought I did. So I was mistaken in my identification of hover. Point of views, air going down, but Wheelie is right up here with his comm. He really wants to make a deal out of that. So absolutely pushing in, trying to kill as much as he can. Units are just behind me to run and back up if Turbo decides to push up. It's Sparkies I was hearing. Sparkies with their built-in riot gun. Oh, that's a decent choice actually. They're pretty hefty against T1 units. Got a decent amount of health and they can shoot while they're constructing. So while they're building, T1 spam comes in. If we just watch this. So you see there, completely separate riot gun. Can actually take down a number of units on their own. T1 anyway. They are hilarious. Alright, but that means we have tech from Nexus, so he is trying to keep things out with the nice range of the Triads. On the right hand side though, Wheelie needs to be, well, a little careful. He does have spam in area, as does Turbo, so these two guys could have a go at each other, and we might see, well, they're all currently focusing on each other's units. Bombers overhead from Nexus though, they're going to help out on the right, and really needs to be careful now because that is all the units coming in. Air overhead help now, so he's going to want to think about dropping back. Hutcher is laughing about something. Oh, that is T2 from Nexus, so T2 villas are pushing up on there. We have T2 PD holding down areas, so he's got some problems. And actually on the right, there we go, Wheelie has dropped back. He's gone behind his units now as a screen. He'll be fine. He's got a single rating vet. He'll be able to wander away and stay alive with the amount of spam that's with him. On the left though, it looks like Hutcher is having some issues there as T2 rocking into his base. And what's there to stop them? Well, nothing really. There's some T1, but that's about it. And we've got units over here on the right as well. The Sparkies are pushing up, looking like a PD creep, whilst his commander is in the region. You get that. You'll notice they're not even bothering with reclaim. And maybe they should. Oh, okay, they are spinning their mass very, very well. Maybe they just don't have the... Oh, no, there we go. Here's a reclaim order. But it is absolute mayhem. We are 10 minutes into the game, and these guys have like over 200 eco. Wheelie's sitting on 205, Hutcher sitting on 230, Nexus a bit lower on 150, and Turbo is on 180. So these guys are actually behind on eco. They've only, I say only, because it's 10 minutes into the game, have 150 income. Just how rapid these can scale is huge, and you see energy just being spammed up because you need it. On the right hand side, force being counted over there. Where is Willie's com? Well, he's up there, he's fine. Over on this side though, we have, well, those Triads going to make good work for themselves, keeping things out. Spam coming in, they're going to design the area. We have Nexus with his com out as well. He's got a wing of interceptors over here just in case of air attack on him, so he'll be absolutely fine. Looks like some bombers scooting around the edge from Turbo 2. Maybe they're going to try and swing around here and take out some eco. Could take out power, could take something. We have a T2 factory going T3, so that's 33% of the way on. So really, while doing all the spam, while pushing with his com and doing all of that, he is also grabbed T3. And we're doing the same down here for Turbo, so he's getting T3 on that factory there. He's a bit behind, which could slow things down. We have the bombers starting to do some work on the units on the right, and Wheelie's actually a bit caught out in the open there. I don't know if he's paying attention to Gross Commas, because you don't want to stand there in front of T2PD with a commander and units. Oh dear. Oh, he gets a rank of Veneracy just in time. That is really going to help him out. Absolutely critical timing on that front there, and Turbo feels like the kill and is pushing up, but I think that he might have bit off more than he could chew. Actually, Wheelie is down. He's down under 2500 while Turbo is at 8.5, so he's actually looking pretty healthy there. That is going to be a kill for Turbo on Wheelie. Boom. What the... Did Turbo control K? He controlled K to confirm the kill on Wheelie? He had plenty of... Oh, okay. Now, everything. So full share, which, yeah. The rate at which they scale eco on this map is giant. And if there wasn't full share, we do have a Janus flying overhead doing... guessing it was trying to kill off eco. Too much there though to have a shielded location from Nexus, and he's actually popping up T2 Ardy, which would be quite nasty with their range. It would have killed a whole lot. Right hand side though, push coming in from Hutcher, and well, he's got defend with T1 bombers and ground spam, so I think he'll be fine. In the middle again we have units all merging together for the crush. that T3 complete? Well, yes it did, and that is Percival's. It says not fixed, but I have 2 T2 mixers. Flex indeed, and T3 is absolutely on the cards for Hutcher. He's getting some T3 power. He wants to be able to spend all the mass he's got coming in, and this position, nope, it's not under threat, it's fine. It's T2RD, how far can they reach? Well, they can reach out a lot of this, and they could even actually kill the HQ. That would be a really good target to go for, deny the tech, and it's on the upgrade. This is up here, so many of them, and the rebuild is planned. It's just such a mass amount of spam. All these units on the right are going to carve the way up, but then also going to come out. These units in the middle are running into issues with no shiver, but it stands still, takes a bunch of T195, that doesn't help it in the finish. We have random bombers all over the place. Payloads, we have T2RD in response by Hutcher, so that is sitting in here under shields, and there are more of them here, so I'm guessing the T2 engineer that was building those got killed. Everything's just going on. How do you focus? You don't know. But this is why these guys are over 2000 rating, because they can focus on so much of this. They can control the spam up here, over here. They can plan the builds out here. They can tell the factories what to do. They can change the build order on that. Get some power on that front. It's just... the APM is amazing. And that's why they're so much fun to watch. Percy's are now on the field up the front, taking their moves. We do have shift there for... we had T3 over here for all yes we do, and there are Othams for that factory line. Right, a massive mixing of units. There's no point in the micro. At this point, you just grab the units, you move them in, and whoever has the most spam will win. So there's just so much of it. Let's just check this out though. 190 and falling really fast. T1RT. Got 35 T2. Lots of RD there is the note. Yes, he knows. He's got some RD over here as well. There were some Percivals somewhere. Lost them. But there's just more spam coming out all the time. Let's compare that to 88 Zuis plus 104 Lobo, so comparative numbers. T1RD, and because there's just so much of it, it will hit whatever you go for. There's a few Othams floating around too. Where they're pretty easier to wear. Percy advantage, but the Ilshivas and the Othams are much better at killing T1. Having said that, there's just so much. Willie calls out, he says need Omni. Well, you kind of do, because you want to see what you're shooting at, which Hutcher does not have, but on the flip side, neither does Nexus. You have enough eco and can survive maybe a Wassa rush. You're kidding, right? That is a whole lot of destruction. Janus come over and firebomb a whole bunch of mexes into oblivion. They are out of here. Let's have a look what that's done for his eco. Well, he's only got 550. Nexus. His opponent has 650. 17 minutes in. Janus love. I mean, I love their spread fire. I really do. I think the napalm is just great. I like the napalm. Can't really dodge it either, but we have a push coming on the right, but that push is probably doomed to fail due to the amount of Artie, the Percivals, the T2PD down here. Oh boy. There's just devastation everywhere you look. And I mentioned before, but they are still doing reclaim. They are still using engineers even with this amount of eco in their bases. They still do reclaim because they are spending it all. They haven't seen that Nexus is a little up on his mass bar. That's okay though. Let's just have a look at the total reclaim amounts these guys have done. 26k, 22k. So maybe not as much as I thought, but dang, come on. That's T1 units mostly. T1 spam and things just everywhere. Janus is still getting work done. You didn't drop a bomb. What are they going for? Ah, the T2RD. Right, all that T2RD. Look at it burn. Burn, baby, burn. Joyous. Kill that one. It's got 200 health. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Chris. Anyway, back to the bigger picture at hand, and that's a push on the right from Nexus, so he's got some units coming up. They are running headfirst into T2 point defense though, and these are very effective at receiving artillery shells. Yes, very nice sir. But no, they're very good at killing off T1 arty because they can hop between targets with the one shot. So much happening, so much exploding. It's just so much noise. Alright, so, oh, it was mentioned, and there is the Awasa plans. It's going to finish in 40 minutes. Well, I'm sure we'll see a whole bunch of build power go over there and change that. Because he has the eco for it, and there's a push on the right, so this back and forth flux, that's a Ravager. So now we have Ravager spam coming out from Hacha. That's going to be a massive area denial. Everything here is dying to T2RD. Oh yes, yes it is. And all that PD is gone, all the units are gone, and we have units pushing up here, but Percy's are in there, Triads are in there, other T2RDs coming back from over this way, and on the same side, on the other side, we have focus over here. Units have managed to get in and start killing some of the factories. We have a whole bank of Ravagers up here just denying anything that tries to move forward. As they're coming over to cross out, let's counter all that's happening. Mixed grids are way, as Willie says, the mixed grids are way bigger for Hacha. So just on that alone, he knows he's got one eco. Now let's have a look just how much more he does have. 980, so he's about to crack the 1k mark for income. Well, Nexus is struggling on power as well, so it's hard to get a solid read, but I think he's got around the 600 mark. 610 once he has power. But yeah, so he is behind on eco and struggling, and this is not going to help. That is absolutely not going to help. Units getting right into the base and starting to take some out. However, he has got a few strats of his own. Willie says go from mixed grid with the Wasp. Well, how fast is that going up? Well, that's a lot of build assistance, and it's going up pretty quickly. So it looks like Nexus actually transitioned to T3 air somewhere. I can't see the factory. Obviously he's got it because he's got strap bombers, so that's a given. There it is, over there. And he is going straight for strats because there has been virtually no airplay from Hacha. He's got a few interceptors floating around, but that's really about it. And he doesn't have any air tech that I can see, so he's focused on the ground spam 100%. Ravagers ahoy, T2RD ahoy's absolute area denial from all these units trying to push up. He's focusing on the one of the biggest. It's going up so quickly. It's going to be a game just what's going to happen first. Well, where I saw them, I've lost them. Where are the strats? There they are. There's one of them. Oh no. I think they... Oh no, there's the rest of them. I thought they had auto-targeted something that came close and just kept auto-targeting, but now they are swinging around to the outside. If he gets those around the back, he could bring them back in and take out a whole bunch of eco. Or if he gets them around the back, he could take out a commander. Standing here wide open. Nothing around him, but that Awasa is almost done. My word, that has gone up so quickly. Once that's done, I think that's going to be game because There is not enough ASF because he's been focusing on strats. He does have half a dozen strats. They could get work done. Massive push on the right coming in, so Nexus making ground up here with his less PD, but that Owasso is going to drop a bomb. It is going to be a big explosion. Zoom. Boom. Effectively just halved Nexus's eco who yells out bully. So why wouldn't you? And is this going to be the next target? All the mass over here. It's a hover bomb even. Oh, rude. Doubly rude. Hover bomb within a Owasso and this. Oh, I hear the strats. Where'd they go? Well, they went for the eco as well. Okay. They could have gone for the comp who's sitting out in the open. The Owasso is going around. Are they going to? No, he wasn't spotted. They have gone for the other eco over here. So, lots of eco destruction, but the Owasso has done what? He's found Nexus's comp. Nexus says, oh hi ACU. Now he sees Hacha, maybe a moment too late because the Owasso is going to beat the strat of the comp kill. Boom. Where's the other 5 strats? He saw them. Well, they probably died. AA, I'm sure there's some around. I don't know. And nuke defense even. This game even. So there we have it. Hachamacha says his heart literally stopped. Well, you would when you see half a dozen strats fly over your 100% unprotected commander. Had Nexus spotted that when he was distracted? I mean, he was distracted by an Owasso. Fair enough. But damn. When you give guys who are very, very, very good at the game, and you give them ramping eco like this, 23 minutes in, we got T3 all over the board, we got spam all over the place, we had Hacha with like over 1k income, and it's just silly fun. It's great to watch. How good these guys are, how much they take care of me. Look, he even built all these over here for extra. Take an extra push on the left, and the amount of thinking and APM they do while tracking all. Just incredible. No wonder these guys are so good. No wonder whatsoever. Good times. Well folks, that was my lineup for tonight. I just had the few games to cast. Impressive 1v1 at the start. Over an hour on a 10k map. And that is going to be it. If you have any replays, over this weekend I am going to try to set up a Discord or something similar to just have a place you can pop those down for suggestions, give me some to look at, some to review and maybe cast. Like I said, the first one from today was sent in by Foodman Steve, so we thank him for his effort, and it was well worth the casting, well worth the replay. And just a silly one to finish it off at the end of the night, because it's crazy. It's called Crazy Backtrack, and honestly it is crazy, especially with the ability level of these kinds of players. So thank you folks for hanging around, and I'll look for you again another day. But for now, that is going to be me signing out. Take care, take it easy, have a good weekend, stay safe, farewell.